Greetings, Earth people, and welcome to another edition of Mad Apple King of the Hill. I'm MH Potting Penglaze in the commentary box here with Mason.
I'm back.
That's right, Mason. You don't hear him in the box usually because he's normally winning out there on the table, but it does turn out.
Thank you.
Unfortunately for you, your long run of wins came to an end.
Yes, it did.
Mason, the stonemason cook, of course, is who I'm talking to.
Hi, guys.
Hoi.
So we got now my dad can jump in.
Yeah.
Try and take the crown. He doesn't
Yeah.
He doesn't like to when I'm playing.
So
That's a tough match normally. So.
Match today is between last week's winner and 2 weeks in a row, King of the Hill, Ray.
People's champ.
The People's Champ. We're not calling him Skip Mike anymore.
I mean, people do what they want, but I prefer People's champ.
Okay.
I had
he's
glorified him when he walked in. He carries that belt.
He
right?
does. He has this big wrestling
And
belt with the Wonder Woman logo on it.
I had stopped what I was doing way over at the start of the pool hall, table 4, walked all the way across the room, raised my cue in the air, and said, what are you guys doing? Why are you not praising the king? Because there's a group of people around. And I proceeded to...
I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay.
Well, maybe you got to listen then.
No, I'm sorry. Just kidding. So we've got a good match for you tonight. Kendal, who's been in the commentary box for the last few weeks, now finally gets to challenge King of the Hill. And of course, Kendal, as many people may know, is Mason's dad. And he was telling me that's the reason he didn't challenge yet, because he didn't want to have to play against you. Because that's kind of a lose-lose situation, because one of you would have to lose.
Yeah.
So now that you got knocked out by Ray.
Yep. Now it's his turn.
Yeah. So we've got a good match for you. It's 10 ball. Normal 10 ball rules. Ball in hand. Winner breaks.
Made a 2-ball on the break and a thin cut for this 1-ball. That or safety.
Shout out to Michael Parker there as our first commentator on the stream.
Hello, Michael.
On the chat. Michael, who had a good little run himself when he was playing.
Yes, he did.
Says,
welcome.
You got this, Kendal. Hey, MH and Mason.
So now, almost straight on that 3, so that's why you see that the cue ball ended back on the rail still.
That was a good little shot there. Good draw shot. He's going to make a statement if he blows through this run.
Yeah, he was telling me he was feeling good right before. I had asked, can I give a statement to you quick? You could tell me no if you want. He said, no, don't do it. Maybe I'll ask later, but don't do it right now. I said, okay, no problem. Because he's hitting them good.
So this shot is a key shot here.
Yep.
Kind of real straight, so he's going to draw straight back.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Missed cue. And got good, really, to be honest.
Oh, he's looking at me and blaming me because I just put a new tip on for him.
Shades of myself I can see out there.
Yeah, and he had me put it. Now, would you play a match with a brand new tip, Mason?
Typically not. If it's the same version of a tip that I always play with, maybe.
I'm just glad that ball's still winning and he made that shot. So he's not going to be. He may lose confidence in the tip now.
Hello, everybody. Bob Campbell, Redmond, Harold.
Is that what I'm going to go into?
And so slop doesn't count in 10 ball, so regardless.
Oh, yeah.
Left 2 balls for Ray to clean up. And, that's, talk about shades of myself out there. That's what I did when I lost to Ray. First 10 games, I couldn't make a ball.
Yeah, your match, when you lost, it was different from all the other matches that you had won. There was a different sort of mood about it. About you, really.
Yes, there was. I was having a very off day. But I tried, and I'm proud I got 16. I was thinking, maybe would have got 5 had it kept going the way it was going.
So I'm worried about that miscue now. Yeah, he had earlier today. He came in and said, "MH, can you put a new tip on this?" A Le Pro is what he asked for. Just a
Really?
good medium leather tip.
Okay. Maybe that's his fault then.
Well,
I'm just
I don't
kidding.
know.
LePro.
Generally
Are there any
generally
LePro
good.
players out there? I'm curious.
I end up putting
Do
a lot
people play with
of, yeah,
LePros?
I put a lot of them on.
So we were asked earlier if Ray loses, does he give up the belt to Kendal? That's a good. I think we should. I think we should force Ray. No, I don't. I don't think that's how it works. I think that's just Ray's character, isn't
Patrick
it?
Glynn
He's
out
just
there.
a character.
How's it going? Bob Campbell's watching. Fred Reiner tuned in. Hi, Fred. What's that?
That's. Yeah, that's.
And Redmond down 4. Evening, fellas. Evening to
All
you,
right,
Redmond.
here we go. Ray Skenandore, People's Champ, first break of the match. We'll see. 7 flies in. Cue ball. Watching the cue ball. And not the best spot to be after the break shot, but it'll be okay. He's kind of on a back cut, which sends the cue ball away from the 2, really.
Right. Can you hit it soft enough to stay up there for the 2? Is that what you try, or do you try a much more risky, trying to thread the cue ball around the balls, around the table?
Right. And honestly,
Score is 1-1. Is
Yeah.
it? No, it's not. It's 1-0.
1-0.
Did we do it? Oh no, Chris is here.
No, he's still got you doing it, though.
I didn't do it.
Oh, Chris got it.
Chris has got it. Yeah, this is the second rack right here.
Hello.
Hello, Chris. Chris is joining us to our technical guy,
Duh, man. Duh, man.
Chris Big G.
Yeah.
Machine gun tennis.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's better than the tool.
Yeah.
Which is what's a little symbol by your name.
Chris.
So the fact that Ray took so long over the shot tells me he is going to try and go around the table.
I
he
see. I
played
was
the
going
bank
to
shot.
suggest that, actually.
Think he's okay.
And that's probably why he played it. He's got an element of safety. He didn't have to let the cue ball
Yep.
fly.
If he makes it, he's got the 2 ball.
Of course, it would have been much better if he had made it.
Yeah, I normally like to slam that back a little more. I'm shocked that he hit it at rolling speed, but that's to control that cue ball and also kind of leave that one where it ended up.
George Nubb says Kendal to win. So that's the second person on Kendal's side I see on the stream. Nubb or Knub? Is that a silent K, George? I'm Roger Pagler from Oshkosh. What's up, Rog? Now, I was talking to my best friend from England earlier, and he said he's going to stay up and watch. But
Oh, cool.
in England, we'll see if Andrew's out there. It's 2 a.m. in England right now, and it's Monday morning tomorrow, so that's tough to watch, isn't it?
Yeah. Does he know pool?
Oh yeah,
Is he, pool player.
yeah. We used to play. We used to sneak out to the pubs when we were both underage and play British pool.
That's fun.
And he would always get the better of me because he's just naturally gifted at those kind of things.
That's cool.
We'd play chess, pool, tennis. Pretty much in the long run, Andrew always won.
I don't know if I'm super vain, but it bothers me that the mic is like right in front of my face. Is that how it always is?
Yeah, you are super vain, and that's the way you always are.
You know that about me, no doubt. Judgmental and vain, those are the 2 characters.
look at
Wow,
that
that's
shot.
a good shot.
Well, it takes a 2-0 lead. I'm worried about that miscue.
Oh, you know how I'd be out there. You've seen it. I'd be wilding on you.
Well, it does give you you lose your confidence. The next time he comes with a
know.
big draw shot,
What kind of tip did you put on?
a Le Pro. You know, Kendal owns the place. He could have any tip he wants, and he asks for a Le Pro.
So he switched from the How to a Le Pro?
I've put Le Pros on him for him before. This is not his first time with a Le Pro, so he must know he likes them. He looked up at the commentary box and gave me a dirty look after the miscue.
I thought that might have been a kind of like a play to me though, because that's my typical thing.
Well, yeah, you look.
You know, I mean, like I'll be screaming at the commentary through my eyes
I noticed
on all these matches.
2 weeks ago. Yes, I noticed. All right, raise break.
The amount of times that
right
I've
down the middle.
wiped the table with my hands and then shown you like I was just a murder.
Okay.
Okay. Little softer. You hit that break a little softer. So the cue ball really might have helped because it stayed in the center-ish of the
Well, it's
table.
funny though because you're right. He didn't lose the cue ball as much, and yet his shot on the last rack was probably better than this one.
Right.
It's not too bad actually. Look at the overhead. This is not such a terrible cut shot.
No, I think he's still a favorite here. But starting out a rack like this always causes for you to not get in line the first shot and kind of be digging yourself around the whole rack.
So he's gone into the 2-ball. He's come out okay. He didn't freeze on the rail.
Yeah, that's okay yet. Still at an odd angle, kind of backwards angle, but... And
Andrew Donald in the chat is watching at 2 a.m. in Greenwich Mean Time. Oi, oi. Thanks for the shout out, Andy.
Yeah.
When did we first go and play pool, Andrew? How old were we? Underage, and I think the drinking age was 18. Was it? In England? Back then, I'm not sure.
Ball in hand now. Ray had tried to put inside on it and hold it for that 3-ball. Tried to get himself really where my dad ends up putting the cue ball for ball in hand. And he's still rocketing through on his play style. He's still playing very quick. I'm not sure that's the best decision.
He's trying to be like you, isn't he?
Which I think that really... So it's still early, so that's not a terrible idea. But when you've had
Shot's tricky, isn't it? You're going to lose the cue ball up table. Oh no, you did
you
good.
did good.
Inside.
So I think he made the right decision to rocket through this rack. But sometimes that's rough where he had that first miscue game 1 and then Ray played a good game 2, you know?
Right.
And now you're back up to the table. If you're playing quick and all of a sudden we see him make a mistake, he might be thinking, oh, God, that's 3 now, you know, should have had 1.
There you go, looking good here, though. Yeah, you're right. That last...
So sometimes I'll slow down in that scenario, but he made the right decision because he got out. And him, like I, kind of emotional energy players, really, so...
Oh, that's good. He settled in.
Good out, yep. One game for him, and
So,
2 to Ray.
There's an answer there on the chat about the microphone that you were asking. The amazing, anyone would really notice this. The mic stand's not normally there, so you could actually turn that mic stand around and reposition
Let's
it.
see it. Can I? How do though? Like,
I don't know if that helps or not. What does anybody want to see you for anyway?
I want to see myself. I want to see myself.
I can't hear you anymore. Have you turned your mic off? You've unplugged yourself. All right, we've.
I was giving you a minute to adjust that because it's pretty loud on stream.
All right. So Kendal got a wide open break. Remembers to score his last game. Now, miscue he played earlier, of course, cost him 2 racks because Ray went and took the rack after that.
Yep, score should be
Immediately
1-2, right?
gets up and fires the bank shot in, so that was a good shot. Although it's not making this rack any easier. He's got a tough one on the 3 here. Is he ever going to try and play safe? He's got to, really. He doesn't have any choice, does he? Little slow roll, bump it up close to the 8. You can tell by the way he's waggling his cue. He was trying to get the cue ball behind the 5.
Yeah.
But at least he didn't sell up. Hi there, Bill Sorensen, watching again. Good to see you back. Sandy Sealer. Rooting for your dad. Must be talking to you, Mason. Love watching you shoot. Because my dad's also in England. And he's not playing this match. Yeah, she says she's intrigued about how curious your styles are. Both quick players.
Well, thank you.
As I left my house to come to this match, my wife says, so is this going to be a quick match? Because we were treated to a lot of quick matches when you were King of the Hill there, Mace. As opposed to last week, which really, I mean, it was a good match and it went hill, battling it out. But it was quite late. Not that I'm complaining. Although it definitely sounds like I am.
It was a good safe back because Ray really hit him good to hide in there.
Containing safety, yeah, and he actually did leave a shot here.
Yeah, a bit. A little close to the ball, so he's got to control his stroke real well.
Andrew, wake up. Are you still out there?
So the part here that's tricky is to get your cue ball out enough while still making the ball.
And not fouling.
And not fouling.
Yeah, so Ray's pointing.
Just to see on the, I think he's...
What's he saying there?
I think he's trying to relay how he plans to hit it and ask if somebody will see it.
And there's really no safety element here because he's going to chip the 3 ball over the pocket. Can't hide the 1, otherwise he hides himself on the 4. Oh, he is playing safe.
That's a good
So
shot.
that's probably wise, isn't it?
Yeah, and he pushed that 8 more on top of the 4.
Yeah. And of course, the reason he played that is the 4. Yeah, he's made it safer, but it really wasn't open anyway. So there was not a lot of it. Look at that shot. He kicked it in. He called it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe another safety would.
He's got the edge of here, so he'd like to get behind those balls over there, and he's just missed.
Did a backward safety there. Left him really clean at the ball, but not much to do, and the 5 got clustered, so...
He holds his cue over his head like it was a big mistake, but it really... I mean, he didn't sell out. 5 balls safe. 4 balls not got a pocket, but Ray does have a nice simple roll-up little safety here. Probably.
Yeah. Actually, the angle is kind of weird, though, just because... Might be like kind of a double kiss that holds that 8 there.
Right, you're saying just roll it forward and you kind of have to let the... Well, he's just called the pocket. Which ball? He called the top corner pocket closest to the 9 ball.
Yeah,
so he's just cutting this ball right in.
Through the 6-9. Oh, bank.
Oh, Z-bank, clever.
It is a clever
See, Ray does play a lot of smart shots, and that was a good shot because, as you can see, if it doesn't go in...
Yeah, and you really, to get a shot to the 5, I mean, we did just watch him kick the ball in. Looks like he can cut it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that's probably the worst result to give him ball in hand because
it's
now he has a chance to get
not
it to 5.
terrible. I mean, like, it is the worst result, but this rack's got its problems. That 6 sitting weird right past the pocket, and the 5-7 needs to be broken out, so... He'll likely do that here, but to get back to that 6 would be a problem also.
And you'd think he'd put the cue ball on the top rail.
I don't mind
So
this
he's
shot.
either got to go into it or just drift past it. And if he doesn't hit this, he's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he got lucky that the 10 ball stopped him.
Yeah, and it might give him a good angle to cross it and maybe develop something with that 6 also.
Yeah, he does have a bank shot. You risk trying to go into the 6 ball at the same time, you're saying?
No, I think in a good way.
Yeah.
To try and develop it. I mean, it might end catastrophically also and scratching the side, but I think in a good way he might have an angle to try and develop that 6 for position.
There you go. Andrew's still watching. That's good. My friend Andrew, he's watching from Stevenage in just on the suburbs of London. It's not really actually London at all, is it, Stevenage? But it's close. England, South England. We used to nurse a pint of scrumpy at the age of 16, he says we played. Me and Andrew used to go play pool in the pubs before we were of legal age, but we used to get in anyway. Scrumpy, as those people know out there. Do you know what scrumpy is, Mason?
Is it a pint?
Well, a pint is the size.
And
a
pint
British pint's actually a different size to the American pint too. But scrumpy is a sort of extra strong cider or hard fermented apple.
Did you play Tiddlywinks?
No, we used to go play pool. British pool, red and yellow balls. Till our pound coins run out. Kendall's played a good save on himself.
A pound for $1 for a game of pool?
I don't know. Was it always a pound, Andrew, or was it less than that back
seems
then?
high.
It does seem expensive, doesn't it?
Because it's just gotten to what would roughly equate to a pound here, like $1, $25, $1 to $20, $1 to $1.
Look at you being adversed in the exchange rate between US dollars and pound sterling. That's about right.
And if you're, 16 for you is maybe 70 years ago, or
7 years ago.
70?
70 years ago. Yeah, somewhere in between, yeah.
You reminded me that I have coffee. That sounds good. Thank you.
I don't remember what it used to cost to play pool back then.
I'll tell you what, I've been researching that, and a lot of pool houses are like $10+ an hour now.
Yes, they are.
So the Mad Apple's a deal.
Right.
$8 an hour here.
Good to say. Yes, it is. I mean, really, you can't play cheaper on the quality equipment that we've got. So, really, too, in other halls, if you add a player on top of your table, like you've got, 2 or multiple people playing, they add an extra price for another player too. So, price gets split here. So, you play with somebody and you're paying $5 an hour, technically.
Yeah, I don't think it's that
if you
much.
stay Dutch.
Dutch oven?
No. Thin cut here on the 7, and I wouldn't say hard position play on the 8, but
ooh, a 3-point putt.
Yeah, now he's got kind of the same shot, but a longer version. So he's got to hit this much cleaner than the last shot, or else it will not go. I think he got hit on the point there, and
it looked like
flew,
it did.
And it flew in
just
okay.
Just drifted out a little bit, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ray looks determined to not give anything up here. He's playing well. Kendal looks like he's playing well too.
Yeah. Well, and that's really, we mention it, but
around.
that miscue, it is a momentum swinger, I mean, not the, I'll be shocked. I'll talk to him after about switching his tip, because seems like an odd choice.
The one I cut off wasn't small or anything. It's like he had plenty of tip left, I think. Sean Wilkes says there's a bar out there in Sheridan, Wisconsin that takes just $0.25 a game. When I first came to Wisconsin, the bar close to our house was 50 cents a game. Our 2 coin-operated tables here at the Mad Apple are $1.25 per game. But most of the serious players prefer to rent the table instead of play per game.
So you hit that one hard again, and the cue ball went towards the end of the table and then ends up scratching. So
here's a good start for Kendal. Make sure he doesn't let Ray get too far ahead in this early stage of the game.
Right.
And they're racing to 18 today, so it's a good long race.
Yeah.
I just hope and pray that there are no more miscues for the rest of this match, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. Looks like his heart skipped a beat there as that cue ball drifted towards the pocket. Well, his probably didn't because he was in line with it. Mine did.
This is looking good here. He did slow his pace just slightly, which I think is a wise decision.
So Z Bank across the table, backwards and forwards here.
Yep.
Or
I would
Z
say
Bank,
so.
as they call it in England.
They'd call that a double.
There we call it a double. Actually, a triple.
A Z triple.
Yeah, well, nobody really says triple, but if it takes an extra rail, we always thought it should be a triple instead of a double.
Still an angle here, which ended up well for the out.
If he can just roll his 8-ball in, he'll be perfect.
Stuns it, and I liked that choice. Rolled around it. Better watch that side pocket.
Oh my goodness me.
And in it went.
And it took so long to get there. He was standing there willing it not to go in, but he knew it was. That is an unforced error. Great shame. Kendall's playing really good. 8 out of 9 shots.
Yeah, and his goal to winning this spot will be recognizing when angles like that are there and just hit it slightly different. I mean, you don't have to change it a lot. You can keep the same shot, but you got to hit it slightly different.
Right. You might think that was unlucky, but that, I guess, if you hit the ball that way, that is where the cue ball goes, right?
Yes.
I guess one key would be just don't give it the speed to do that. Add a little bit of spin just to take it off that line.
Yeah, there's a ton of techniques in that scenario, really. Okay, that was his best break so far. Hit it hard. Cue ball stayed center table. So he had to have adjusted his English, is the answer on that.
And the second ball in the rack went straight into the side pocket.
And he's got a cut on the one. 2 balls, a little precarious, but not
that can
not
happen,
too much.
isn't it? When you're hitting straight down the middle of the rack, that the second ball, the ball touching the head ball, can go straight in the side pocket.
Yeah, that's the plan, actually. That's the goal for a lot of players on their 10-ball break.
And that you have to hit the rack pretty square in the middle. Okay, so that's really Ray's first major error. He's shaking his head. Kendall's quick-fire Kendal jumps out of his seat. And right away, this is oh, he just likes to play that way. Okay. Yeah, okay. He can't really risk drawing this ball, can he? Yeah, he did. Wow. That's
That
great.
8 must have helped him a little bit.
He's not. His body language just tells you he expects that to freeze on. He was grimacing before it got any closer. He knew where that ball was going. That 8 ball was just stopping him.
He's gonna cut the three into the corner. I read his lips.
Read my lips. No new taxes.
Hit it good. Really needs this one here now, though.
Yeah.
And
there's a big shot right there.
I was actually mentioning
good shot
to Chris G earlier, talking a little bit about my loss to Ray, and that really, I'm kind of shocked nobody had picked 9-ball beforehand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know I can get wild in 9-ball, but kind of what happened.
No, Kendal, did you just do that?
What happened last when I had lost,
Yep.
and what is happening right now, is a common thing for us, for sure. It's if he's got to snap himself out
Kendall's
of that
giving us a little wry look to the box here.
attitude, because it can, I mean, that's where you can. Ray hasn't had to work yet, really. I mean, not to take away from Ray, but Ray has not had to work yet.
Right.
And there were a lot of racks when I had lost to Ray that he didn't really have to work.
Yeah.
He just got him, So in a rotation game,
through no fault of his own.
And yet at the same time, I know I've heard.
But you gave it to him, yeah.
In a general sense that, and I worked on my 8-ball game a lot more, but I was always. People thought I was more rotation player.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess so, but I don't think I am. I think at this point I'm well versed, but often that's a mistake that happens in rotation games. So,
well, it's easy to do that, isn't it? You run most of the balls and then just don't play every shot perfect. You turn the rack over.
Mm-hmm.
Give a 1 or 2 ball out to your opponent. But it's a long race, so Kendal mustn't let that get to him. Considering the fact that he is playing well, I mean, if you look at how quick, it's tough to commentate when you quick players like you and him play, and it's a lot of very quick decisions and choices that you have to make, and you make it instinctively.
Okay, so he went a little too hard on the break again, and that cost him. He got a little unlucky roll kick there, really, but.
So where's that 2 ball going to go?
Into by the 9.
Sneak in, brush off the 9 ball.
Yeah, and you can push that 9 away.
Oh, hit it good.
Like
good
that.
Speed.
Almost too hard because it almost came back in, but that's
it.
actually a perfect spot for it.
It's got to get a nice angle on this pink 4 ball so you can get back on the orange 5, which is tied on the rail. That was a little jump. Was that that was another miscue? Oh my god, and that wasn't even a big draw shot.
Okay, that's and he's shaping
ugh.
his tip, which is, I mean, yeah, it's bad he miscued, but that's what you need to see. Any fans rooting for Kendal out there to win, that's what you'll need to see for him to pull this together. Otherwise, Ray will continue to dominate, and then all you Ray fans will be happy. People's champ, everybody loves Ray. That was a TV show. Everybody loves Raymond.
That's right.
Yeah, and. He should get that on a T-shirt, man.
I'm just rooting
Everybody
for
loves
no
Raymond.
more miscues. I mean, I can't really be blamed for miscues because I put a new tip on, can I?
No, but I give it a little half and half credit. I mean, I don't think that it's your fault. There's a chance that it could be your fault, but I would not. There are other things that I blame on you, but not this one necessarily.
Yeah, let's not go there. I was going to ask you, what do you mean? But that's the last thing I really want to ask.
Just the table cleaning.
Oh, we just cleaned them.
I know. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
I spent a good old time vacuuming all these tables, brushing them out.
Yeah. And I'd do it. I would do it every day, but...
we used to.
Yeah. Yes, we did. And then the jobs just started getting...
Well, that's right. And doesn't help that my number one pool table installer, a.k.a. The stonemason cook... tells me, oh yeah, I need the next 2 weeks off. I'm going to Derby City to play in a pool tournament. And last week. You were off and up for another week. So I'm out on all the pool table jobs. And that means
Yes.
we're a little bit short here on the pool table maintenance crew.
Right.
Tomorrow, me and Kendal are on a pool table job together. It's been a long time since I went on a job with Kendal.
Yeah, that's interesting. And tonight, big news tonight. We are putting work in to get rid of the old bar and move everything for opening on the new bar. Little sneak peek info for you stream listeners.
Tomorrow, you're saying?
Tonight, yeah.
Opening tomorrow.
Well, I'm not sure that it's opening tomorrow. Let's be clear here, but I am aware that after streaming tonight, I'm going to be helping with a crew of people to take apart that bar and move it to the new bar. So
Preston's watching out there, says 2 miscues. One of the mates is fired after this.
yeah,
Because I do pretty much all the Q-tip installs in this place.
not the time
got
to
it.
promote your Q work.
No, I know. Well, I don't, listen.
No, I don't think that
The
it's
tip
you.
didn't
I
fly off.
I genuinely
I didn't
don't.
choose the tip. I put it on. It looks perfect. Rounded nice. Roughed. But tips do sometimes need a little bit of beating in before you re-rough them again.
Yeah,
and
I would
reshape 'em.
not. I would not be blaming you right now, only for the jokes if I
And
did.
The La Pros are nice tips. They're a real leather tip, but not everyone is exactly the same. It's just a big old chunk of leather, And I think that's why you have laminated tips, is there's a little bit more consistency. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I kind of know what you
The
mean.
Pro
but
is sort of
they both have their give and takes, you know.
Yeah, it's an inexpensive tip, but it's still a good one.
All right, so he will. He's pretty straight on that 8-ball. Which leaves position tough, so we're gonna. Can't tell if he's running into that 10. He might be.
So Patrick's just mentioning out there, because I did just go out to Patrick's house and fix some issues that we were having on his table. Is it playing good, is it? We've still got a couple of bolts that need to get fixed.
Loose screws. Loose screws
Well,
going on.
No, they got
No, I know.
wedged in there. Had to cut them off. So Patrick's table is playing good at the moment, yet it is missing 2 bolts that we need to somebody needs to fix, either us or manufacture.
Okay, so Ray decided to draw it back, which I don't know about that one, but
It's a big shot here, isn't it?
it is a big shot, and he left himself somewhat on the rail. He might do what my dad's been doing and make it a little easy work.
So he decided to go for a rolling side pocket shot because he thought that was easier to make the ball. The pounding it and drawing back into the corner would have got better position, but he said, no, I want the bank, but he missed it anyway.
Watch that scratch
I know, I
again.
thought that, but he's okay. Ended up perfect. And there we go. Managed to control the cue ball and
I
didn't
know
stretch.
that's his response in his head right now is, hey, I got one.
Yeah. 5-2. That's not terrible. In a race to 18. Still plenty of match left. Time to catch back up. And a lot of these matches on these King of the Hills, like last week's match, Ray against Captain America,
Yep.
Cap,
Yep.
was backwards and forwards, and the Leafs switched hands several times. And it went to 14-14 in a race to 15. And we couldn't tell who was going to win that one.
I can't
Rick?
believe I'm back in the booth up here.
Back in the booth.
Great.
Yeah. But you've been off traveling and playing a lot of tournaments. Maybe we should talk about that. Where have you been? You went down to, last week you were away all week.
Yeah.
Where was that?
We can talk about it a bit. As long as we incorporate the match also.
I'm not going to ask again, so you know.
Everybody
playing all coy over here. Don't be like that with me.
No, I mean, I'm just saying.
No,
Not about me, you know.
Right, that's true.
I'm placing that I'm not as vain as I stated in the beginning.
Whatever.
Tough rack here laid out with that 3-4. Anyway, my trip's so I jump like right into it.
Well, this is not about me, but what do you think about me? Yeah.
That 3 is going to be maybe an issue. Maybe we'll see.
Now with ball in hand, why didn't he solve it right there?
Yeah, I'm always shocked when players don't.
But
here's maybe a little
more
angle.
likely to end up with a shot on the 3 if he just draws into it right now.
And I don't. I mean, I think
that did not.
That's expected in my opinion.
Needed to dig into that a little bit deeper. The other way, yeah, if you try to break it off the 1, you might break it and sort of hook yourself on the 2. That's probably the reason he didn't want to do that, but
yeah,
you got more control of the angle when you've got ball in hand.
Yeah, now he's either safe, you clip off the edge and hold the 3 by it running into the 4, kind of just leave it awkward. Or if he can see the bank shot, you might end up trying to bank the 3.
Yeah, he's playing safe.
And that is not awkward. I'm pretty sure you just lined it up dead
it's not
into
really
the
safe,
corner.
It's a sort of they call that a containing safety when you know you're going to leave a clear shot of the ball.
He could have hit that much harder and been okay. So that's an opening,
this is a
really.
key shot right here. And he's got safe.
I don't like how that rolled down the rail. I don't know if that was a forced error or not. I couldn't tell, really. I'm going to watch it again down here because I'm not sure.
Saying what, that it might roll off?
Yeah.
Well, if it does, I'm not taking full responsibility, seeing how you are pool table installer.
Yeah, see, I heard you. No, that was a forced error. He overcut that.
Just cut it, yeah.
No, but I heard you say. I heard somebody had mentioned you had said that.
What?
On one, he's table.
Oh,
job.
on your match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
I
would.
remember that. Yeah, the ball did roll off where it hit a piece of chalk maybe or something.
Here's the thing. As table installer number 1, that is pressed to get to a customer home at the proper time.
You're going to say there's not much time to do maintenance in the Mad Apple.
I'm saying that if we leave an extra hour to clean the tables and push our table installs.
That was a really good kick shot, and he, although surprisingly didn't make it, he didn't hang it either. He ended up pretty good. Sorry, I was just interrupting you.
That's fine. Some may say, why don't you get up earlier? Why don't you get up an hour earlier?
That's a good one.
I hear your point. My response is, there's no time that way. There's time. I could lose my sanity if I get up an hour earlier.
That's the
but I'm often out, helping
the
with the business in a later hour period. Sticking around with the staff late at night and things like that, where you'd lose me in other areas, I'll tell you that. So maybe somebody like Fong would be a wonderful table cleaner, I believe.
Right on.
Unless I get downgraded to table installer number 3, you could lose me in that area.
Shouldn't we be talking about the match right now?
Yeah. I think this is fun banter for the listener. That's a good scapegoat to get out of our conversation.
Fun.
Right
I'm not enjoying it.
Bah, bah. That's my goat for the scapegoat. Is my impression.
Oh. Your scapegoat sounds like a sheep.
Aren't goats kind of similar? Do they more like? "Ugh"? Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Goats
It's
have
like,
atti- goats have a great attitude. We when I was a kid, we had to watch a friend's farm when they went on vacation. So my mom and sisters and I went down, and my sister had this piano sheet music, and the goats. We left the door open. The goats came into the farmhouse
and played the piano.
That's great, yeah, with their one hoof. No, they ate all the sheet music. They eat anything. Goats can chew through pretty much anything.
He has not had a good percentage on his side pocket shots so far, but I think he left it pretty easy in this scenario. I don't know.
Well, he got that one. So yeah, Andrew's my friend in England's mentioning that I made a cue, or we put together a cue. It was that would have been the first cue I ever made. I think we did it together, Andrew. It's actually, I think you found the cue. It was like just in the gutter or on the street outside a pub, and it was broken. It had a big chunk out of it, and we took it home. We kind of fixed it, not knowing what we were doing. I made a joint. Get this. I made a joint out of a nut and a bolt and 2 coins as the sort of the brass ring, what you'd call ring work here. Drilled a hole in the coins, put the bolt through it, and then little holes, screwed the coin into the wood.
Interesting.
And the chip out of the shaft, a huge, great big gouge. We sanded a piece of wood to fit in it, glued it in, and
the ray clips just happened.
I wonder where that cue is. It's probably actually at my parents' house in Wiveliscombe, in the southwest of England. Andrew's parents are also in Wiveliscombe.
Well, odd
In the Shire.
position here for the 1 again. Still made one on the break. Good, solid hit on the break, no doubt.
Just to double check, that is 6-2 Ray.
Well, you better
I
run
have
out.
zoned out on the score.
Better run
there.
out and take a little look there, Chris.
Well, it was 5-2, and Ray just won, so I'm assuming 6-2.
Yeah, that seems like a long game.
That seems like good mathematics there, Chris.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Public school, hard at work. Maybe one
Ray,
of the
Ray would be proud.
math. Anybody in the stream, maybe chat if the score is incorrect. But I believe
all
it
you
is
have to do
6-2.
is get up and go look at their
No,
scoreboard.
that's much tougher than it. I
Trying-
don't.
Tougher
trying to
than it
get participation here.
Right.
And yeah. Don't make us do all the way.
All right, Kendall's got a 1-rail kick shot. He's calling this one ball in the corner. That was a valiant effort. At least he didn't totally sell out. Although he's not really getting lucky so far. He's had a couple of shots like that where he hasn't ended up hooking him just by random chance.
Mm-hmm.
So Ray does have, I think he can just get past the edge of the 5 ball here. May have to bend it with a bit of spin and flick it in. But he's eyeballing where he wants to be on the 2. No, he's not. Yes, he is.
Making a comment on the list of the different divisions. And you're right. Now that I'm in control of the list,
Oh, yeah?
yes,
Wow.
we will.
I didn't know that.
We have no reason to hide it.
Posting it would be a good idea. They've never
As
done that,
we've
have
had forever.
they? You could post it right on the stream.
And I will, no reason to not expose it. And
So
I've been,
it
I've
looks
been
like he's just called a 2-rail kick shot into the long pocket right by him.
not a bad choice. He's got that safety element like before.
And that's right. That's why he picked that.
It might have squeezed out.
That was one of those
Um,
shots you can risk going for a tough shot because you know you're playing safe. And if it goes, you're on the 2.
He might have hit it just the wrong speed, though, where I think he's got a sight at this ball. Oh, he did not, but he hit it well to come off that rail. That's one of the tougher shots in pool, really.
All right, come on now, Kendall. He needs a couple of things to go for him.
And yeah.
So truthfully, in all these earlier racks, even the ones he's lost, he's been playing well and shooting good most of the shots. But hopefully that doesn't, the end result, losing a lot of them, can cause you to end up losing a little bit of faith.
Yeah.
And I would say because he's striking the ball well, he needs to. I know it's easy to say, and they always say it, sort of have a short memory, as it were.
Right.
And start playing the next rack exactly the same way that he started.
Yeah. The only problem with
That was a good shot.
the concept of short memory, it's 100% accurate. You can have a short memory and then make a similar mistake, and now you've created a new memory that's a similar memory to the one that you've forgotten that you then remember because you made it similarly.
Yeah, if you keep
which makes it tough. It becomes a tough cycle.
Yeah.
But
so you need to have a selective short memory with a very astute actual memory. Little spidey sense pops up at that moment when you're playing that next shot.
Question on Ray wearing headphone. Yeah, he typically does. I mean, he's a player that wears them quite often.
And we don't have any rules about that, do we?
No.
In a lot of tournaments, they don't let you wear headphones.
Yep. Yeah, we don't mind there as long as the player is being responsive and respectful to their opponent. It's not a big issue for us.
All right. So
thank you, Lisa Heckman, for sharing. I have not read that name out in a while since I've not been in the booth, but good to hear you're in the chat watching and listening.
So Kendall's been given another chance here. And that was a good first shot. Make sure he came across the table and got on the 7.
I think Chris G is testing our response system on the comments.
Friendly little bump on the 8 ball there. He's okay. What is he? Oh, it does not go past the 9. Would you believe it? So now.
It might at a very... did he call a safe? Combo.
Oh, look at that.
Well hit.
That was a bold shot.
Well hit. It's tough to say he hasn't made bold choices because he has, and you might suggest the opposite.
There you go, straight on the 10.
But he made the right choice again, at least to try and crawl back in. And I'm just knowing that based on him being my dad and we having similar styles, it becomes a question of which one do you want to place out there, Yeah.
So you grew up, obviously, as a kid, watching your dad play and probably developed some of your style from him.
Absolutely.
Now he's got to watch the success that you've had out there as you go off and take down all these big tournaments that you've been winning recently. And he probably, in some way, wants to play like you.
Yes, he's mentioned it, actually. He, finds it somewhat humbling, and I love that I can do it. That it's cool, too. We can discuss the game. That's something I've come to appreciate more and more as I grow, is that it's cool that my dad and I share the same interest and both pretty high-level players, It's fun to be able to discuss.
Yeah, when you do come back and win a rack, the last thing you want to do is scratch on the next one.
Yep. Yeah, that's one of the killers. One of the
a chance to gain the momentum back and come back.
Deadly sins. That should be like on a list.
Yeah. Did that? I didn't really see that. Did that ball go straight in?
It went straight. Yeah, straight into the.
Get to watch the replay that in the commentary box. We were watching the live YouTube feed, but of course there's a delay, so that for us there's a replay.
With how much analyzation I've been putting on my break, I actually noticed something there in him that I think was the cause to that mistake. I might tell him later.
Oh yeah?
Yes. I'm not gonna. No,
I'm not gonna.
I'm not going to expose that information to the general of society.
The secret of a good commentator: always leave them wanting more. No.
Is it for commentary or capitalism? No, just lessons. I'll sell lessons.
No, that was an old joke from when we used to perform magic, which is another thing I used to do with Andrew when we were kids, do magic shows. But that was an old joke from ours.
Comment on the. Sorry to interrupt you there. I
right.
love your magic, and we will talk
but
about it in a second. But it looked like he had racked the 3 and 5 ball in the corners. He did. That is no longer a rule for sure here at Mad Apple. Is the 2 and 3 in the corners? It's not an issue. In the WPA World Standardized Rules, it's also not an issue.
That's
so
right.
that's kind of where we adopted that.
Yeah,
that
we're just following it. That wasn't a Mad Apple rule, but we are following that rule, which means it doesn't matter which the corner balls are anymore.
Correct. And another Let's
would
Go Ray,
I
which
don't know why
is
they would change
good.
that.
Still got some People's Champ followers out there.
What do you suppose the rationale for that is?
For
changing that rule, where it used to be that the only balls in 10 ball that mattered is obviously the 1, the 10, and the 2 corner balls were always the 2 and the 3.
Yeah, I believe it just has to do with the consistency of top players running out, knowing that the 2 and the 3 are technically pattern ranked. You know, I mean, they're technically going to the same spots.
They're kind of lined up on the full rail shot into the bottom corner.
I think it's a little bit more.
It hasn't stopped them racking the balls there. Right? It's just that it doesn't matter. So if you think
no, because if I mean they might oddly randomly end up in that spot, but
yeah. But you could choose to put them in this spot.
No, because that's pattern racking, and there's a rule against pattern racking.
That seems really dodgy.
I disagree. I think it's more natural.
You mean
I'm shocked that it was a rule
all
in
these
the
players
first place.
who are used to the rule where you've got to put the 2 and the 3 in the corners, if they do keep doing that, someone might say, "Oh, you're pattern racking. You can't do that."
Yeah. Yes. And I'm one of those players that I got so used to 2 and the 3. I've not been confronted, but if I was confronted, I'd be like, "Yeah, man, sorry. I'll switch it right now. I'll switch it." Because it's not a big deal. I'm shocked that it was a rule in the first place.
I think that's madness.
I would agree in an opposite opinion.
Agree to disagree.
But we both believe it's madness, which is the relativity.
Scholars maintain that actually is not crazy.
Yeah, right. First time I've passed a sanity test, I think.
Yeah, well, that's because of the sanity clause.
I heard he delivers good presents.
Hey, you can't fool me.
Wow.
No sanity clause.
That's actually good. Sanity clause delivers good presents. Because presence of being there.
Presence of mind.
Holy cow, I might need to write that down.
In the light of day, it won't make any sense.
Yeah, right. If you utilize it properly.
Sanity clause?
Yeah, the sanity clause brings presence.
FYI, that's an old Marx Brothers joke.
Is it why?
They were talking about this contract, and he says, "Yeah, this is the sanity clause." And then Chico, who has the accent, "Hey, you can't fool me. There ain't no sanity clause."
Pretty good.
If there are any Marx Brothers fans out there. Well, that was a big miss, wasn't it? Didn't really get close to the side pocket, that one.
Yep. And
banks it across.
Did a earlier version of what my dad's doing, and this looks like not too much work left in the rack. The big thing is getting away from that 10, not having it hit the 10, and he looks good. Down it goes, and really that brings him staying alive in this match at a 4-6 score.
So we're going to keep up with the old comments here. People champ back in action, says James Fish.
Yeah, another
that's
Ray Rooter.
Rooter for Ray.
Ray Rooter.
Seems fairly equal out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, which I'd expect. I would expect.
We should have everybody who's watching right now to just say who they're rooting for.
Yeah.
If at all. Kendal, Ray, or either.
Right.
For those who want to sit on the fence. And then we'll count it up quick.
I've said many times, I just like the way Ray goes about the game.
Yeah.
So I'm a Ray Rooter, really, in a general sense.
Don't tell your dad.
Well, not tonight. I'm not a Ray rooter.
Well, no, I'm a fan of Ray's too. Of course, he's been doing well.
But
and he's a
I
lovely,
respect
and he's a
all the
nice
Ray
guy.
rooters out there, because in a general sense, I would be. But
William Larson, hi guys, it's been a while, and yes, I shared. I suppose we should mention that. Thanks for sharing. Lisa Heckman said she shared also, and
really appreciate that.
those are the two that I saw. So please go ahead and share this match if you're watching. And
We've stressed that to
still awake.
exhaustion. It helps
Even-
helps us stay.
even those
relevant.
watching in England, if you're still awake, yeah, you're still awake. I know you are.
Kendal. 3 Kendals in a row.
And amazingly, nothing goes down.
Yeah, and that unfortunate look through at the one with the 210 hanging in the pocket. So
this game is going to be a quick rack. Yeah, Kendall's laughing.
yep, and
Ray
Ray
giggle
went
at the commentary
woo.
box.
And
Patrick Glynn making a statement by saying, "I'm rooting for the guy with the pool cue."
rooting for good pool. Another equal on the fence comment.
Red Ryan and Kendall.
And so here, really,
Hill match.
it's kind of hill. There we go. Kendall all the way. Another Kendall. You'd expect that too, as the owner of the pool hall here. He's got a lot of people appreciating the room. So
Bradley says nothing against Ray. I don't really like him. I'm joking. He doesn't say that. He says I don't really know him.
yeah. So really, if Ray does have a look at this, that's a nice, easy steal for him to keep a lead, and devastating for my dad, who's climbing back.
Looking at the overhead, I mean, it's a tiny window that he's got to shoot between the 4 and the 8 to get to that one.
Yeah, it's tight.
Whether the 8 is just taking the preferred spot on the cue ball.
Right, because you'd think that 5 would be a help, but not if you're aiming at it necessarily.
Yeah, he's got to hit this ball just a little thinner probably than he would wants to, and the 5 ball could, if you hit it too thick, get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
And
He played the 10
But did
ball.
he call the 10?
Yeah, he must have. Yeah.
Did he? For sure.
Well, yeah, he would have done it, and Kendall's not shooting now, so that was a good shot. So that
That's
tells
a good
us the 8 ball did not let him play that combination, because you would have played the combination if you could have. So a very good shot there from Ray. Jackie's rooting for Kendall. Pork Rasmussen's watching. Hello, Pork. I never knew they called you Pork when I first met you.
Yeah, one time when I was playing the weekly tournaments, it was me versus Pork.
Mhm.
And Larry Neville, bless him, hope he's doing well, had announced the match, and he said, Mason cooking pork, table 5. Mason cooking pork, table 5.
Cooking pork.
And I was like,
that's good.
yes, dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Mason cooking pork.
And Pork's saying that he wants Kendall to win just because he may end up a challenge, and he thinks he's got a better chance against
Oh,
Kendall.
wow. What a statement.
Okay. So it's time for Ray to make a nice dry break and give Kendall a chance. It's not a hanging 10 ball this time.
But there is a hanging 3 ball.
Yeah. And a hanging 2. And
Like,
after this shot, there's going to be a hanging 1.
If you didn't tell by the accent, I was trying to be Matchroom commentator.
Who's our commentator we always making fun at? Phil Yates.
Yes.
He's had some good ones, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's the commentator who doesn't, he's not a pro player, doesn't know quite as much as the other players.
Just a talker,
but he's
really.
a TV guy,
Yeah.
and he comes up with some good phrases. What was the name of that? Was he the player from Dubai?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's Omar Al-Shaheen.
Omar Al-Shaheen. And what did he say? This is a good one.
From, I believe, Qatar. I think that's
Qatar.
right. And yeah, it was...
Oh my,
yeah.
Omar.
Yeah, it was when he made it to the final of, I believe, the World Pool Masters
Yeah, that was a good one.
against Albin Ocean.
And he made a comment about the ocean, didn't he?
Yeah.
Somehow. as in liquid water.
Yeah. The other good one is on Jeffrey DeLuna. And be like, Jeffrey DeLuna is over the moon.
Over the moon. Brilliant.
Yeah. Because DeLuna in, like Spanish is the moon.
Well, in English, also, the lunar lander.
Yeah.
Lunar does mean moon, but it's almost too clever, that one. Oh me, oh my. Looks like Kendal called the wrong pocket.
Yeah, he hit it clean in the pocket. And
next time you call it in that corner.
Well, good sportsmanship, for sure.
Well, it's not like you could get away with it, really, could you? I mean, after
you could.
Yeah, well, not here.
Have you caught it? Well, I'd wait till Chris G heard me.
No one's doing that.
If Chris G heard me, this would be awesome. Nice, he's listening. I said if Chris G heard me, this would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at him. But we were just talking on, and this is for general viewers too, because they'll all catch on. But you don't stay too like hot topic in the pool world, MH. Typically, I feel like Chris G would. My dad had just kicked a 4-ball clean in the pocket, and he had given it back to Ray. And I said good sportsmanship, and MH had mentioned, but you couldn't really get away with it, could you? And I was just thinking about that Ray Ito, the Reyes Gomez, Efren Reyes match that's been going on, where it was like hill for a few thousand. It might be in 15, 20,000, really.
I think it was 25,000.
25,000.
Yeah.
And there was kind of one of those scenarios where a ball's in the pocket, kind of, but half a ball, so like a ball can pass that ball.
Yeah.
And he had kind of like pointed to the pocket, and then had made the ball that was like sitting there on the half shell.
The wrong ball.
And
Yeah.
but might have been
Probably
the right ball,
the wrong ball.
but continued shooting and
Yeah.
ends up getting out, and there was a whole commotion. So that's been like the hot topic in pool.
So he pointed to the pocket but didn't really
Anyway,
say which ball.
kind of got away with it, kind
I'll
of
have-
didn't really.
I'll have to
So
look at
it
that
depends on
Oh, man.
the reality too of whether he called it or not. I haven't looked too much into the topic, but I just know that.
So Ray
basic
here has changed his
amount.
mind. Earlier he called the thin cut on the 5-ball to the right. He's now just recalled the long bank shot. So he's playing a bank shot here, length of the table.
Weird choice.
Which means he thinks he can miss the 6-ball.
It's a very odd choice to me.
It's probably another two-way safety type choice, which, there you go, that goes to show you.
Yeah, it was majority safety there, really.
Yeah, that worked out.
Yeah. You call it just in case, really. You actually do. Even if you think the safety's the right shot, you still call the ball just in case if you think you'll end up with a good
It's
shot
like
on the 6.
insurance.
Yeah.
Just in case.
And it looks like the English
Yeah.
fans out there have chimed in. Andrew says, Kendal till he catches up, and then let the pool gods decide. And that's it. And that's typical of the English people, really. Rooting for the guy behind. Rooting for the underdog. Americans like to root for winners. But it's a British thing to root for the underdog. I'm not saying Kendall's the underdog, but being behind, he is now.
Chris G, I believe that Ray had gotten one extra, right, on that early 10 MH. Is that correct?
Oh, okay.
Should
So
it be
Ray has
7
7.
before?
Yes. And then Pork is clarifying that the reason he said that is that Kendall's numbers are closer to his.
Yeah.
So Ray's got the highest Fargo rating. What is his Fargo rating? It's on there.
668. I would like to say while I'm, finally in the booth, and I can speak to you all, it has to do with the list that we will be putting out for the King Series. Super cool, Chris G.
Oh, that's a direct feed of the
There
score.
will be
What a great thing.
a...
We're testing it.
Okay.
So just up and down, and it should go live.
Sorry to have, cut in the middle of my thought there, but
Oh,
those
great.
that are
Thank you.
interested, like I said, I'll be posting the list. No need to have it hidden, for you all to see kind of a rough estimate. but we could use more players interested in the king matches. So if you're above 600, looking to come and play the king match, reach out to me.
Yeah.
We are obviously very overloaded in the other divisions.
Right, the other lists are long, aren't they?
Still reach out to me. Honestly, I might not respond right away, but I've got your message, and you will be put on the list in an orderly fashion. But we would need more king matches to have an interest.
Here's a tester for Ray here. It's a thin little cut shot. See how well he's feeling.
And the way to sign up is to PM me, because like I said, I may not respond right away, but it is a priority in the many list of priority things that I'm doing, to look at it
Brilliant.
in a certain, like once a week or something, and relist everybody out.
Yeah, that's right. And so the list for the
So
testers,
if you're interested, I will not see your comment on here. I'll need it just straight PM'd to me. That's the only way you can get on.
okay. But as you were saying, the list for the knights and the jesters are quite big lists.
Yes, still like
But
5 months out, really.
And of course, those happen earlier on a Sunday. Earlier today, those two matches happened.
Yep.
And the ladies' match, the queens' match.
Yes.
We have a new queen, Rayanne Skenandore.
Do we? Well done.
Sorry, Rayanne.
Skenandore.
It is, yes.
Yep.
Although she's not directly related to
No.
Ray
Yeah, they're
Skenandore, although
not.
of course they both are natives from Green Bay, and one has to imagine
In a certain
that
sense.
they are. if
But
you
they're
go
not.
deeper, but-
Let's keep it at that.
Well,
and,
they're humans, so we're cousins, aren't they?
Well done. Sean played well to have taken the
Yeah.
queens over, and Rayanne must have played well today to
Yeah.
have gotten that
And they
spot.
both. I was rooting for both of them. Sean, I was very happy when she won her first last week, and unfortunately for her, she got pipped to the post by Rayanne today. And Rayanne came into the pro shop earlier and was beaming, very excited to have won. But if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, at the Mad Apple every Sunday we have a series of matches. The Jesters match.
Over on the OS, it'll become more and more of a we're in a transition period, but it'll become more and more of a structured, separate kind of scenario.
And
Those are our earlier matches.
That's right. And I think it's earlier on a Sunday, but when it gets late like this, that's what I've heard players, because I talked to a couple of players now who, on the plus 600 ratings and say, you guys should sign up. And I've had several different responses where, it's late on a Sunday, can't do it, got to work on Monday. And there has been talk, we've chit-chatted about moving the Kings match to a different day.
Yeah, and you've all heard us mention that at some point.
It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, we're not at that
fully
point
decided, but
for sure. But regardless for what we're doing now, if you're interested, just hit me up on Facebook.
Yeah. So you're keeping the list for the Kings also.
All of it.
All of
Yes.
it.
Every
Mason
list. I am the list master.
That's right. Robbie Schmidt says he'll play. Now he's a plus 600, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of where my comment stemmed from. Is just letting Robbie know. Really, send me a PM, because that's the only way I'll know.
Al Jordan says congrats to Rayanne.
Comment on our
Friday, yeah. Pork says
well, actually, no. I
Fridays.
I wasn't at that one yet, but is just a comment to that match I told you earlier, and that a lot of people are on the side of thinking that he called the opposite ball that he made. Again, I'm not sure, but
Oh, right. In the Efren Reyes
Yeah.
match. Yeah, his comment there says that he
but of course,
looks like,
Ef-
I'm going to have to look it up. I haven't seen it, but it looks like he pointed to the other ball.
but of course, Efren's got a huge army following too, so I don't
Yeah.
want to put too much
It's tough to
blame to the
imagine.
other guy that I don't know yet. But
It's tough to imagine that anybody would think they could get away with that with so many eyes watching it, playing against Efren on a recorded match. Because people are going to know, you would think. I'm going to have to watch it to make my own determination. But meanwhile, Ray is storming along. how's he going to get on there? He's going to punch it sideways, is he? And try and hit. Oh, draw, yeah. He's able to hit. He plays draw. That happened to me last time when I look at where he's queuing up against the ball and it doesn't look like a draw shot.
Yeah, he tends to scoop down. But again here, we've seen a lot of this in rotation tonight, for sure. It's just one way or the other, and player ends up giving it back at the end of the rack, and not much work needed for the one who gets the gift, is it?
So this is a new device. Have you seen this?
Chris G's been working hard at a lot of things, so
technical
here we'll
genius.
try it out right now. 5.
He's given us a much easier way to keep score, and
worked immediately, Chris.
So
well done.
Up until this point, to change the score, we've had to go into the program with the mouse and click on the name and then click on the number. And Chris G has just given us a little tablet that all you have to do is touch the up arrow by someone's name and it immediately scores. So we are now finally going to start doing a much better job in the commentary box of keeping score. Like, we were able to score it even before Kendal scored his.
Yeah, we're cleaning up the commentary box.
So 5-8 is the gap has not opened up too big. Still a race to 18. They're not even halfway yet.
And I'm happy to be back.
And Kendal avoided scratching in the side pocket. Oh, and the one time he does make the ball, he didn't want that ball to go in after seeing where the cue ball stopped. But at least he didn't scratch. He's got, obviously, on 10 ball, you can play a push if you don't like the idea of kicking or jumping at this.
Yeah, and tonight we have not yet described the push shot for those that might not know exactly. It's just the first shot of the game in a rotation game, so 9 ball or 10 ball. You can play a push, which has no rules, and you're trying to leave it in a spot that you feel better about than your opponent, and you think they might give it back to you.
Yeah, so he's deciding to just sort of nudge the ball over to the other side of the table and leave it up table. Which, what has he left here? He really has not left a long bank into the corner, I don't think, because of the cue ball gets in the way. Plus, it's a very risky shot. But you don't see any obvious, easy, simple, natural safety shot. He has called the corner pocket. Oh no, he said he doesn't like it. So he said, Kendal, if you have a plan here, which usually when you play a push shot, you should have some kind of plan. Now we're going to find out what it is.
Yep.
He's got a combination on the 9 ball, doesn't he?
That or a carom, and it did look like he pointed in that direction.
Yeah, so he's called the carom, cannon. In England, they call that a cannon. In America, you've gone with the French carom, but it means the same thing.
I think a cannon makes sense when it's a hard-hitting breakout shot.
You mean like because of a firing cannon?
Yeah, like if there's a cluster of balls and you would cannon into a cluster for better shape.
Standard usage. It's just what you might just call a kiss shot. On snooker, they'll talk about cannons.
Sean Wilkes says, "What if we don't have Facebook?" As for right now, we're just gonna work with Facebook. So if you can find a way to reach out to me, please do. But otherwise, I'll figure it out soon.
He's got a jump shot here. Presumably, he's calling it in the corner pocket.
Maybe a King of the Hill email.
Right over the 7 ball. You hit it well. Didn't go in. How's your luck? Where's it going to end up? He's left it. He's left a window between the 7 and the 9. There we go, nicely around. So he's played a good shot to get on the 3. Still some tricky navigation to do here.
Yeah, a bit. You got to get right on that 4. Looks like he's going to play in and try and bump the 6 for shape, which will hold his cue ball there.
Bump the 6, you say?
Yeah, so he's going to come in. That's what his pointing.
That was so close to doing exactly that. He's got a real first shot.
Yeah, and
Nice.
we saw him make one earlier.
I think he's called 2 rails after the kick shot.
Another
God.
miscue. That's now 3 for those counting.
I know. He's not looking up at the comedy box anymore. I don't know if that's good or bad. And that's not even much of a draw shot. Those last 2 were not even. You know, if he wants to take a pause while we go and do some tip maintenance, we could do that.
I don't know.
What do you have on your shaft? He maybe wants to use your shaft.
How hard?
How hard?
Very.
Yeah.
No, it's actually a little bit softer than a typical hard.
Okay, that's good feedback. I always need to know that. Would he enjoy that tip, do you think, or would that be too hard? Because you have the same shaft, don't you?
No, we don't.
No.
I use a radial connection.
He's going to get a different chalk. I should go get him some Kamui. 0.98, that stuff's good. So the question on the stream there is, where are you going to post that list so people can just go on at any time and have a look?
For now, again, it will be on what is referred to on the YouTube side as FaceZuck, because of I see that right now, FaceZuck sucks. But we will, it will go onto like how we post our typical lineup. It'll be on that page that you can go and look at. Other avenues for where it will be posted might end up developing afterward, but the simple fact for right now is just right on Facebook.
Where on Facebook?
Like I just said,
I can never
from
understand
the
how to get
page
from the page
of where typically we would post the lineup. So it will likely be from the OS, the XStream Facebook page. Go and like that if you haven't. And then from the Mad Apple's Extreme page, it will also be posted. And go ahead and like that if you haven't as well.
Bill Sorensen says that miscue looked like it was his stroke.
Yeah, and
I didn't
there's
wanna
a
say that,
combination of it. There is certainly a combination of both of that when a miscue
Is that
occurs.
like, what, dipping the tip at the point of contact?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just watched that YouTube video about... Have you seen that yet? That guy with a southern accent saying, "Don't shoot the wrinkle."
No, I had not.
What did your dad just say there?
The secret.
Okay.
That's I'm playing neutral commentary tonight, but also, we have our own secret language in the pool world. We're often discussing strategy and communicating throughout tournament days and
So here's an interesting 3-ball finish where you got to pick a nice angle on this 9-ball where you leave like a half-ball shot or you got to...
I don't know.
What do you play for to try and go...
Right there.
From the 9...
Yeah, I mean...
To the 10. You can't go 3 rails this way. You got to Z-bank backwards and forwards.
There becomes a spot
and avoid the side pockets.
Where it's like it rolls and you just got to be willing to do either one, in my opinion.
So that was a good shot.
Yeah.
A lot of inside spin. Not ended up perfect on this 10-ball, so this is another testy, thin cut down the rail.
Yeah, rewatching that 9, he held it well, though, to come around that corner.
There you go, in the hole.
And a good thin cut. So that brings it to 6-8 now. Still a tight match. Ray keeps giving a good effort to make that lead pretty long, and he's scrapping back.
Yeah, we've just ordered... Oh no, we ordered Teom tips and they were out of stock with Teom chalk. Patrick was just mentioning that Brian came up here with some Teom chalk, which a lot of people have been asking me about Teom chalk.
Yeah, that's the popular, that's like the fad type
our supplier at the moment is out of it, so I haven't got it yet, but we have just ordered and have on the way.
They've almost gripped me into trying it, and really? I'm a
big fan of Kamui 0.98. ever since Dr. Dave Alcor, the engineer, did those series of tests on chalk, and clearly Kamui beat all the other ones that were in that particular test.
Yeah, you should do it again with the new versions.
Right, there's a lot more chalk, and he did do a second video too.
Because that was a very thorough analysis.
Yeah, proper scientific.
Yeah,
from a real engineer. MIT engineering professor he is.
Right.
I think.
Right.
Right. And that's right, though. Some people who just miscue a lot, like me, you're always looking for, is it the tip, is it the chalk? But Bill Sorensen's probably got the key there. I mean, there's a way to stroke it bad and get miscue it.
Definitely. Well, and like you had mentioned earlier, it sticks on your mind when you've miscued.
Oh, yeah.
And you
When
get concerned.
It's going to bite you in again, or when is it? You don't know.
Yeah.
Well, luckily for Kendal there, the one ball froze on the side, next to the side pocket instead of in front of the side pocket.
Right. A question on if I can explain the divisions. Sure. So what you're watching right now is the king match. So that is a matchup between
Anybody can be in the Kings.
Anybody.
Regardless of rating, but obviously...
But typically the higher rated division,
the
because
higher-
it's open.
Right.
You know, anybody can play.
The higher rated players obviously can't play in any of the other divisions.
So that's the Kings match. And
600.
we run that match on the Mad Apple XStream. And then we have our sub-channel concept with the OS, the open stream, and that's where we run our Knights division, which is between 500 and 600.
Yeah. Or technically anybody less than 600.
But anybody less than 6. And then we also have our Jester division, which is one spot lower. So now that's
Bump. Perfect little bump.
between 4 and 5 typically, but 500 and under. And then we have a Queens division for our lady players in the state.
And it must be mentioned that the queens, or the women, I should say, our lady friends, can play in any of these.
Yes.
The other brackets you just described are open to any gender. Any of the 26 genders out there can play. Is that right, Mason?
Yes, any of the 26.
Yeah. Men, women, and hairdressers.
Oh, overcut it, but hit it at an okay speed, really, where he might have gotten lucky. Ray might decide to try and kick this 5 straight in and get shape. This is one of those typical shots that might work if you kick at it. Otherwise, he's going to have a jacked up shot over that 10 ball and trying to spin the cue ball, and I don't like the odds. Back over to you, MH.
No, I'm just trying to understand what you just said. You're saying this kick shot on the 5?
Yeah, typically
one
that.
mil.
Yep, because
What don't you
otherwise.
like about it?
No, I do like this shot.
I do too.
I'm saying if he didn't like it and he was trying to go straight at the 5, that's the one that I
see.
wouldn't like.
So your dad really is trying to be like you. He's pounding himself in the head right now. JK LOL. No, he just tapped himself in the head with his cue.
Nobody will care like I do. Not even my own dad.
I'm tempted to ask a follow-up question for you to describe how you were feeling last match, but I don't know if we want to delve down into the rabbit hole.
Well, I mean, you're
Deep,
right to
murky
say
depths of
there's
your
not
brain.
much to say about it. I think a lot of people out there know that I'm very intense. I'm a very intense player, so they already understand. That's all I have to say, you know. But yeah, I was it's I held it together pretty nicely to get back to that 16, and I know that's the fire that I've got in the game. So started
you
out
do
rough
see
though.
that the very best players. What's the difference? They seem to just really be emotionally attached to
Yeah,
the outcome of the game. That's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
can be. You know, it's the spot to work at, and I continue to.
So Ray's got a tough shot here. I don't know if he's electing to cut this in to the left-hand corner or right-hand corner. Oh no, safety. See, often when we get into those interesting 50-50 shots, Ray ends up playing a clever little safety. Wise match player. Have we been keeping up with the score here, Mace?
Yes.
Attaboy. It's really 8-6.
Yep.
It's a very close match.
Mass A shot.
Oof. And he likes his mass A shots. That one
Yeah,
didn't
typically a specialty, but that was hit just at an off speed.
LT got my joke about the 26.
Yeah. More than LT got the joke, but we don't need to restate it.
All right.
This is following a pretty typical match progression. Right now, Ray had started with the lead and just a constant battle from the player that's been down
I'm scoring it.
to scrap back, and just keeping that basic little 2-game, 3-game lead seems to be the consistent story.
Sean
tonight.
Fleming wants to know, have we thought about a seniors match?
I have not ever. I hadn't heard it ever mentioned either. I don't know. I think you can fare well in these Fargo and under, right? Let's not be ageist, shall we?
I think we should have an English-only division. Only people who are citizens of the United Kingdom. People ask me all the time, so are you a citizen? I'm like, yep, I'm a citizen of the United Kingdom. I'm a permanent resident alien. I do live here. But apparently, according to the government, I'm an alien.
We've talked about that. I don't think that's true yet at this point.
What?
You've been married to your wife and in the States for a longer period of time that I believe you are technically.
No, it's not. You've got to go through. You've got to answer questions and.
Becomes easier though, doesn't it?
Well, maybe. I'm sure
Yeah.
I could, but I don't.
Pretty sure it becomes easier.
Yeah, I mean, I pay my taxes. I have a social security number.
Welcome to America.
Welcome to the real world.
That's what I was gonna end with. Yeah, but I, held myself. What's the movie reference? That way somebody might get it. So
that line
yep.
comes from that song from, what is it, Lonely Island.
Oh, okay.
Throw it on the ground.
Throw it on the ground. Okay.
Where he throws that cake on the ground, where the little kid offers him a little piece of cake and he throws it on the ground.
Yeah.
Hilarious that is, but I'm not going to finish it.
No, so we should not, because we are a clean stream, trying to do well in the world and keep advancing.
Judy's asking, is anybody else's stream freezing? Well, I would advise don't go to the bathroom outside. They have indoor toilets now.
Yes.
That was a good little shot. Drift past the 6 ball. Nice to pay attention to the match every now and again, isn't it? So there's
it's great.
Bruce
to
is
pay
walking
attention
out.
to the
I didn't watch today's night's match. Did Bruce win again?
The Wizards division. I'm sorry, Bruce did win again.
Bruce Almighty took down another one. He's on a long stream, isn't he?
Your cleverness on wordplay, Sean Fleming, is drawing me into your concept.
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
The Wizards division for the seniors.
Wizards.
Kind of
Yeah,
along
you have
that
to have
medieval
a long
scenario.
beard. Yeah. Happy birthday to the ground.
So they get the reference.
Yep, LT does. Andrew's going to sign up for the English only league.
We'll see you in 15 hours.
I played a lot of pool with Andrew.
Is that accurate?
Andrew
What's the
always-
flight time?
Andrew always
What's
wins.
the flight time?
8 hours.
8?
8 hours flight time from London
Yeah, but from here or New York?
to. Well, usually we fly into Chicago
Oh, okay.
or take an extra trip and go to Milwaukee. And I've done it where we've taken I used to take the Greyhound, but also we've flown into Appleton.
Oh, okay.
But approximately 8 hours for the whole actual flight time.
Here
but then
goes
there's
Ray with another
layers.
one, taking a 4-game lead, now at 10.
Andrew, you can stay at my house. Book your flight first thing in the morning. But if you win, you're going to have to come back next Sunday. It's a winner stays on type thing every week for the matches here.
Can't go home till you win.
Of course, we'll get knocked out when Darren Appleton comes back. Bruce Almighty winning 6 weeks in a row, says Patrick.
Yes, he's doing great.
Now, that's not the longest streak, is it? Of course,
It's one of the longest in that division.
In the Kings, I think you have the record. Is that right, Mace?
I do.
And that's what, 9?
9 weeks.
And that was undefeated because you had to quit to go off on a pool tour.
Correct. Yep.
And then you came back and did what?
Another 5.
So you had 9 undefeated and then 5.
Or no, I'm sorry. I was not undefeated. I had lost to the great Larry Neville.
Oh, Larry beat you.
Yep.
Yep. And he had quite a long string, didn't he?
Yeah.
When Larry was playing, he had
One of the higher.
yeah.
We've had a few good runs with Justin Volk and Chad Gaz and Scott Kugel, of course. We're all pretty high runs.
They had some good long stays.
My dad's been at a run of, 6, I think, at one point. 5 or 6. Can't remember how long Ray's has been. But I'm sure Ray is looking to hold his streak longer.
Yeah. And Lisa Heckman
At
says,
this
no
point.
offense to anyone else, but I love watching Larry play, and I have to say I totally agree. Always for many, many years. There was only, when I was looking for any new pool matches, to see if there are new matches, the only 2 names I ever really Googled or searched for a lot were Larry Neville and Chris Melling. I thought they were my 2 favorite players, and I love watching both of them. Larry, of course, we're so lucky that he's so close to us here. And I know Larry and Michelle have been off working on their bucket list.
Yeah, I really hope he's enjoying that trip. That sounds like a good time to go see the things that you wanted
and I'm not
to.
sure where they are right now. I know that they did go and see the redwoods. Larry wanted to see the biggest trees
Right.
on the planet.
Okay, so played that back and forth very nicely. Did leave it little jacked up over the 9, I believe. So he didn't want to be there.
Yeah, I mean, which means you probably don't want to. Well, he's not really. I was going to say he couldn't play a draw shot, but he. I'm not sure exactly if he wants to play a draw shot, whether he wants to follow forward 2 rails. But he is digging down. Is he?
Mm,
I can never tell with Ray. Yeah, that's as low as it goes with him, so that must be a draw shot. Oh, that was a well-played shot. The zing takes it over, nice in line. Couldn't have hit that one any better. Still a little tricky, this. You follow forward. Hopefully don't catch a point of the side pocket. Gave it enough to get past the 9. So he's playing a lot of very good shots here, Ray. He's very much in control.
yeah, good match going on tonight. Thanks to all the viewers out there. Having a good time with MH, Potting Penglace, and I. Me. That's the one time in grammar to use me. Typically. I should have said with me and Potting Penglace.
You get told off so many times for saying me instead of I. But
my dad was a big stickler on that growing up.
Well, my mum too, but of course there are places to use the word me. Now let me just analyze what you just said there.
Right there, it was the correct way. Or I should have used
Enjoying,
me.
What did you say?
Yeah, thanks to the viewers for enjoying the match with me. I said with MH and I.
MH,
but it wouldn't make sense because if you take MH out,
right?
Yeah, so I should have used me.
We're left with a me.
Anyway,
there's no I in
Don't
team.
take away from the meaning. That appreciate the viewership.
Yep. Yeah, good shot, Ray. There's no I in team, but there is a me. Yeah, Lisa Heckman says that Larry is in California, Larry and Michelle, last time that she heard, so that's good. Bet the weather's nice down there. Not like this freezing stuff we've got here.
All right, that's now 11.
Very good. Haven't seen much of Kendal in the last few racks.
Yeah, Ray's hit a nice stride right now. Everybody get ready for the Ray clips. There it is.
The Ray clips.
Yeah. Light blue cloth.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, oh yeah, we didn't fix that, did we?
No.
So the table color,
tones
changes
back right like that.
That's right, because it's automatic.
It's beautiful.
Lighting, and so when Ray stands in front of the camera,
it's beautiful
with his dark shirt on. The camera opens up,
and so are the waterworks in my eyes.
Yeah. So he's really getting into his stride here. Another good open break. He's whipping around the table here. Just looking at what angle he wants to get on the 3-ball. Little stun through shot here.
Yeah.
He had to really whack that one because he was quite close to straight. So now he's got to thread the cue ball down between the 5 and the 8. Probably end up playing the 5 in the same pocket he's playing the 3, maybe. Or perhaps the corner, the long corner.
Controlled that cue ball well.
That was very good, yeah.
Because typically you're letting your cue ball loose there, and he controlled it nicely.
Yep.
Got rewarded with the 8 falling also.
Precisely. Got to pick a pocket here for the 7-ball.
Pick a pocket.
That one will do nicely.
You pick a pocket here. Mm.
He's got a little bit of an angle on the 7-ball. You poking fun.
Yes.
Oh, he was straight enough. So he's ripped through another rack pretty handily here. And Kendall's got to be hoping he gets a shot soon. One of these racks.
Yes.
So break and run.
Put that score to 12 now for Ray. Kendal leading at 6.
Leading at 6.
Oh, not leading. I don't know what's the opposite of that word.
Trailing.
Trailing.
Trailing as
Let
in
me
trailer.
pronounce it. Trailing. Lisa Heckman wondering who I like to watch.
Careful.
Yeah, I normally am careful in this scenario. My honest answer though is I don't watch a whole lot of pool. I watch some pool. I typically will watch specialists in specific areas of the game to try and, take from their strategy more so. So, and then I guess if let's not. It really comes down to a majority, like a good amount of players. I learned from 200 players, like 200 Fargo rating, and 200 in a sense of it all. Also, for top pros, I like the typical players, Shane and Efren.
Melling.
Don't mind Melling. He's kind of one of those more specialist types to me, though, that I might watch him for a specific reason rather than an overall.
Yeah. And after meeting Darren Appleton, he's really gone up in my estimation. I have
agree.
to say, we actually, do you remember, Mason, you and I were down in at that pool expo, and we ran into both Melling and Appleton down there, and that was the first time. And of course, I was a huge Melling fan. But when Darren was here, most recently, I'd mentioned to him, it's another year where there's no English players on the Moscone Cup. And he's like, yeah, well, there's not really any up-and-coming players. I'm like, yeah, but what about you guys? You and Melling? You're not that old. And he's like, well, I've got more chance than Melling of getting back on the team. But he said that because Darren Appleton, of course, focuses on American pool, and he thinks Melling, by still playing all the other games, he plays British pool, he's still competing in British pool and snooker, that you're not going to become world champion in any of them if you're playing 3 different games, which you use different cue balls and different cues. And Darren's probably got a point.
I like Darren Appleton's structure about the game. That, from what I learned meeting him, that's a lot of being successful in this game, is being true and honest to the amount that you're putting into structure.
I think he works very hard, doesn't he, Darren? And
we all think we work hard, but we can all work harder, can't we?
And I remember
it
him
comes
saying,
to the top of the best worker in the planet, really.
I remember him saying something. He says he works harder than anyone else except for Shane, who also works very hard, working on their games, doing drills still at this point. So it should be pointed out, Taylor Smith points out to us that Ray ran 3 in a row there. I knew he was dominating the table, and I hadn't seen Kendal, but thanks for actually paying attention to that, Taylor. But that really helped him accelerate away in this match. At 12-6, it now looks like a very one-sided match. And that, if you can run 3-pack, that helps. And Kendal, when he gets a chance, is going to need to put a few together too, because it's tough. Really, it's tough to come back just one at a time, isn't it? And then hand it over to your opponent and hope to get it back again.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of the top pros play the game they call golf on a 12-foot snooker table. In fact, I don't really know that game, but whenever you bring up snooker to people in this country, they always start talking about golf. Which I'm not even completely sure I understand. You have to bank the balls around and hit one in each pocket.
That's it. Yeah, that's the game. It's like moving version of one pocket.
I'm gonna have
to just change your hole
after this. Go look up.
One ball, one pocket. Really.
Melling playing golf on a snooker table.
That was a good combo. Hit it like fire. got shape also. A little slow on speed there, so he's got to recover. That 5-7 looks like it'll combo in, I think. So no real work there. Just hit this 3 clean and get shape on a 4, and you're...
He's okay there, isn't he? Likes the side pocket. He's kind of straight on the corner pocket. I don't know if it goes past the 6. Okay, so yeah, he likes your combination.
Yeah, it's fine.
Gotta hit this nicely and control the 5 ball.
Yeah. Typically, that comes at a medium speed.
Yeah, and that was perfect.
Looking clean here. He almost... he might have just messed it up. I noticed on his stroke he got a little loose. A little softer on his backhand there.
Oh no, did he hook himself? How did he do that?
Like I just said, little softer on his backhand,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was rhetorical, thanks.
Well, gave you the answer.
All right. And that's a shame for the Kendal fans out there because he had a nice position to take a rack back and then break. This rack's not over. Let's see where this ball ends up. Needs to get past the side pocket.
Yeah, could be worse.
Well,
But still left for a scenario here. Get out of.
yeah, it definitely does cut. You gotta let the cue ball fly. But there's not a lot you got to do in position, so as long as you don't scratch. There you go.
Which is what you look, at that possibility happening. If you're
Yeah,
hoping to get back to the table.
I think it's tough to not do that on that shot. I've played that shot, and you think
It is. You've got to
can I
give
hit it thin enough? You just can't. You can't hit it thin
You
enough.
have to give it a different type of stroke.
Oh
That's
no!
where the different variants of stroke come into.
I'm nervous.
I'd be concerned here too.
I'm nervous over this draw shot.
I would also.
There you go. Hit it perfect.
Yes, he did.
Sweet.
That's what he needs.
Confidence in the tip building.
Right.
And the truth is, with a brand new tip, you want to beat it in a little bit, so it's going to get better. How on earth did we play cricket on a snooker table, Andrew? My memory is terrible.
What?
My friend Andrew from England says we played cricket on a snooker
No,
table.
I know. I'm saying
I know that we played.
your memory being terrible.
I'll tell you one thing. We used to play. We had a golf club.
That makes me know he knows you well.
Yeah.
Of course he does, but I relate there, Andrew.
So we used to go up to the local field with golf clubs and tennis balls, and we'd played this sort of we'd call it kind of a golf game where we were using a golf club to shoot tennis balls through the soccer posts and rugby posts and all the way around, and one day we were walking up the street on our way to go play, carrying golf clubs and tennis balls, and this little kid from a couple of grades below us is walking past in the other direction. He's like, "Oh, what did he say? You're not going to go play golf with those tennis balls?" And Andrew's like, "No, we're going to go play tennis with these golf clubs." That's good. Quick thinking, Naz. You think I'm funny? I got it all from Andrew. But I don't remember cricket on the snooker table.
All right, so
That might have been a joke.
good shape
probably is a
here
cricket
for
game,
this
isn't it?
rack to be an out.
They play cricket on the dartboard.
Nice speed. A little slow there, which I have noticed. I think that his position play is a little weaker on his slow hits tonight versus his harder hits. Good bank shot there. Kind of unfortunate to have bumped that 8, but we'll see what he does with it. Goes straight in.
I'd like to have stopped that cue ball a little bit more, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's okay.
Yeah, and I actually would have moved to the corner pocket on that ball instead of the side. But he hit it clean.
Oh,
And this is a good out here.
There we go.
Back in
Claws one
contention
back,
again.
Taking the last 2 racks.
8 to 12.
8 to 12 doesn't sound nearly as bad, does it? As 8 to 6. And that's right-hander. I do remember there was a game. So you use snooker balls, and you're shooting. The reds are like runs, right? Player 2 would hit the colors until the reds are gone. Oh wait, okay, no. The reds are your outs or your lives, and in cricket, in obviously the real game of cricket, 10 outs for your side to be out. And meanwhile, the opponent is just shooting colors and racking up score, racking up runs.
So one player was playing more safety style?
Well, one player is batting and the other player is fielding. And cricket, if anybody knows what that is somewhat similar to baseball, where you have a batting team and a fielding team. And
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Isn't one guy kind of safetying?
No, because you're both trying to
stack?
No, not really. The guy shooting reds is trying to just shoot the reds in and get them gone, because when they're all gone, the game's over. Or at least your inning is over, I should say.
But the player who shoots the colors, do they have to play them in order like regular snooker?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Because that'd be a good game, too. One
Yeah.
guy's playing safes, the other's got to
That's
run
like-
them in order on colors,
Sure.
and then
That'd
still
be-
run out the reds.
Sure.
Too. Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're trying to rack up as much score while it's your innings, and then, of course, you switch so that the other guy has an innings and
Thin cut there by Ray.
tries to beat that score.
And he got a bad roll.
One spot on the table where
Bad
you,
speed,
where
at
you can't make
least,
this
but
one ball.
bad roll. Off that nudge from the 3.
And he doesn't have a bank. Looks like pockets are blocked, so he's going to be snicking off this and trying to get hidden behind one of those balls back there.
That, or if it is not froze to the rail, yeah, it's not. I've seen Ray just hit that slow. I've seen Ray just kind of slow roll onto the top of this bowl. He's banking to nowhere. Just stop his cue ball. Oh, he drew it. Tried to hide. And I don't think he did. I don't think he hid.
Oh, now I don't believe he wanted to do that.
No. Fired at it, which wasn't a bad option. It was just in the realm of throwing your dice out there. It was just slightly a little too hard. You can throw your dice out there, but
Well, he wasn't really trying to. He was trying to shoot the one straight in. There was a path to the corner pocket.
I'm just meaning at the speed he hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, combination. Gotta make sure you hit this either solid enough or slow enough that the two ball doesn't escape.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that. Roll up table, get a shot on the 3. If he gets a nice angle on the 3, this becomes a very pickable situation. He's overhit that. He's okay. He's absolutely perfect. He's tapping his hand, trying to slow the cue ball down. And
that's pretty close to his
and of course,
work
that's one
there.
of those good example of where going towards the next shot, he's still got the right angle.
Wow. Just barely got that one in there, really. He hit the edge of the pocket, but that's one of those where you take a deep breath and you're like, yes, I'm still alive. Makes you feel the rush from the reality.
What he's done there, though, is he's given himself he's on the rail, which means he can't play a draw shot of any kind, and he's got an angle.
You can stun.
You
pop
could stun it to miss the 10 ball. You're saying?
Yeah,
he doesn't have to hit the 10. Yeah, and that's why he's jacking up. So he's trying to go lower on the cue ball.
You can get enough on this to do something with it.
Yeah,
requires an accurate stroke.
Yeah, you got to really focus on making the ball.
And he opted to kind of play that a little softer. Really, kind of popped at the cue ball. Really didn't give it a full stroke, which controls the cue ball a bit better. But he got on an odd side of the 8. Just with how close he is, for sure. Another kind of pop draw.
Wow.
That one was kind of wild.
What a beautiful little jacked up Massey-style draw shot. I say Massey, he really wasn't trying to bend the ball, but why not have a level cue on that? I mean, he had a very, very elevated cue for that draw shot.
I get scared of that shot also, actually.
He's gone too far on this one. No, he hasn't. Perfect. He's okay. Not perfect, but he's okay. Because he wasn't really super close to it. I mean, he was fairly close, but not very close.
Wow, another squeaker.
But you just don't want to let your full stroke out and double hit it, I suppose. You're worried about fouling on that draw shot, are you?
Yeah.
(13-8) in a race to 18. We want to thank everybody out there watching who's still with us. Millions of viewers all over the world. At least one in England. Several in Wisconsin. Is anyone outside of Wisconsin other than Andrew?
Yeah, let's play that game. I've not been in the booth in a while to hear where you all tune in from.
Even the ones in Wisconsin we want to hear from. Where are you watching from?
And how are you watching? I know a lot of viewers like to watch from YouTube and then stream that to their TV.
Chris Appleton. Shall I get my phone out and make a message? I'm watching.
I always used to.
I'm watching
say
from the commentary box.
40 feet to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm watching from the commentary box at the Mad Apple.
Yeah.
That was pretty quick. I just clicked it. You saw it instantly.
Lansing, Michigan. Got for Kenneth Johnson.
I like that new game. Lucas a joke that we were talking about in the game called Cricket on the Snooker Table. And in his mind, he said he imagined people standing on the, full team of people standing on the snooker table.
Yeah.
And Andrew gave that a name, Snook It. New game. Rules to be determined.
Got Plainfield, Rib Lake.
Rib Lake, Wisconsin.
Salt Lake City, Utah.
All right.
That's cool. West Bend.
Menominee, Michigan.
Some more Wisconsin. Appleton.
Mike's Man Cave,
of
Whitewater,
course,
Wisconsin.
Mike's Man Cave.
Oh, that's Michael Parker, yep. Whitewater, is that where you're from, Mike? Obviously, if you've got a man cave there. Marion, where they used to have the maze. Which I don't think the maze is there in Marion anymore, is it? We went there a long time ago when my kids were little.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Very cool. Thanks, guys.
Wasaki.
Huh.
I still have a problem with all these Indian names.
Is that meant to be Florida? FLA?
That is Florida.
Is it? I thought it was just FL.
Well, for the state ID, but people often do put FLA
Oh, okay.
for Florida.
Canada? Yeah, right. Now we're getting lies. Zach Marcourt
Jacob
in the
Kakak.
house. That's why I said now we're getting lies.
You don't believe that?
No,
Why would
I
you say that?
saw him 12 hours ago.
He was, well, Could you get to Canada in 12 hours?
Yeah, I suppose, but I know he's not there.
Zach Marquardt watching from Yo. What state is that, Mason? YO.
Wyoming? Oregon?
Oh, he might just be saying.
Merrill.
James Rasnack wants to know, will we be streaming the High Roller next weekend? It's a good question.
It is a good question. I will not be here. I'll be at Derby City Classic.
Right, you're going down to the Derby City. First time at the Derby City?
So yes, it is. Yeah, I'm very excited to do that.
It's a good question, James. We don't have an immediate answer for you. We'll have to talk to the boss when he's done with this match.
Yeah, but good suggestion, and I am sure that, that's a tournament we'd like to certainly stream.
And for all those wondering what that is, next weekend we have, this coming weekend we have High Roller, 540 and under, $300 and some change entry fee. So some big matches, and this is James Rasnack's tournament that he takes around and has had at various different pool halls, and it's going to be a very exciting event.
Somehow, I believe we might not be streaming. I believe a lot of the equipment will be at Derby.
Oh, that's correct.
Oh.
Good point there.
That is true, because Bad Apple is going to Derby City Classic to set up cameras.
And we'll be producing videos available for a later date.
What does that mean?
On our YouTube channel.
Right. What does that mean, Chris? That you're ripping out all the electronics from the booth?
That's right. Yep.
Because we don't have.
Well, there is a
duplicates.
mobile solution, and I believe it's going to be recorded and then edited. But, the good cameras and some of the higher-end equipment most likely will go. So we can do what we can do.
Yeah. You think there's going to be enough left to stream in Appleton?
Table 8's still here.
Plus, we'll still have a King of the Hill match next Sunday, won't we?
Yes.
So that means we have to be set up. So this is a good question. I'm going to bring this up at the next meeting tomorrow morning.
Oh, that is a good question, yeah.
Yeah, and your dad's got a match against Cap for some pocket change coming up next week. This coming week.
Yep.
Is that on Friday?
Must be. I'm not too versed on the things going on right now, really.
Yeah, Derby aren't they taking off on Wednesday?
Yeah, I know I'm leaving on either tomorrow or Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. So I'm not sure when they are.
Unless they're playing at Derby, I don't want to say anything that might not be true, but it seems to be tough to be in two places at once.
Unless you're twins.
Unless you're twins.
So I'm not sure if Ray was trying to play a kiss shot there or a cut shot, but it didn't go in. So Kendal has a chance to claw one back here.
Yeah.
And
Ray's developed quite the lead.
Yeah,
really.
and it's an important moment here in the match. If Kendal wants to consider winning this match, he's going to have to
snap off here.
Win this rack,
yeah,
and break good, and run out, or at least gain control. Uh-oh. He's throwing his cue on the table. It's going to hit the side rail.
I think he'll
Big
be
bounce
fine.
off the point.
Unless the table rolls,
he
because I know that's been
corner
happening.
hooked himself.
Table roll.
Oh, come on now.
No, it kind of does.
I'm going to watch it.
I was just piling on there.
For it to
I
tilt,
hope not.
for it to tilt off the point. Normally, it doesn't tilt off the point
he
like
did.
that. It's a very minor roll, but yeah, we need to check it. I mean, he didn't have to. He could have hit that a lot better. But it's slightly, it's curving that way.
So he would have scratched.
You know what I've been noticing?
But it also threw him back down into the pocket after the.
He seems to pause and then do one extra stroke and then pause again. I've been noticing that, which is not normal for Kendal.
I've seen it, though. I have seen it happen. All right, down that one goes for a 14-8 lead now.
Colby. Where's Colby?
I don't know.
Colby, Wisconsin, I'm guessing.
Must be.
That's where Sandy is.
I was looking at Legoo's like, what's the animal there? But it's a hippo, so we know where he's at.
Huh. Our friend
Working.
Our friend from the hippo.
He's working.
Paying attention to the pool on his phone.
Yep. Well, I'm having a good time tonight commentating and watching this matchup. It's been a good match. Haven't been up here in a while, and still a couple more games to go for sure. Ray needs 4 for the win. And Kendal will need, what's my math here, 10? Yeah,
Yep.
10 for the win.
8 to 18. Good job, Mace.
Yep, that's tough.
Good
I
job for
hadn't done it in 5 years since graduation and whatnot.
Oh.
So
And he ended up with a nice shot on the 1. Made 2 balls. A little bit of congestion around the 3. So it's not a simple run out, but he's just looking up right now. The line, he's pointing with his cue where he'd like to be on that line to get to the 3.
wow, I really must have ran a track in my brain. I haven't in a while because all of a sudden I just get a head throb headache
Why?
because of the math I did.
Oh, I see.
I think.
Smoke coming out of your ears.
I can't tell though, but I think so. I must have ran that track, and it's like, whoa, we haven't been down this one in a while. It's my guess.
So it's a little bit straight on this.
Thank you, Chris G, fixing the logo. That bothers me so much.
Did he get there? Yeah, he obviously did. So you played obviously your match 2 weeks ago on this table. Was the table playing good?
I did feel as if there might have been a slight roll, or I was crazy, and those are very viable options. Either one, and I didn't.
Either the table rolls or you're crazy.
Yes, so I didn't go and check it.
What if both are true?
I didn't go and check it, right? Because I just said, yeah, no, I'm crazy, because that's a well-known
established fact.
Well-known established
everyone
fact.
knows.
And I just should have checked the table, but I didn't.
Well, he's missed that shot and got it safe
Now I'm
again.
as bad as you.
What's that?
I said I should have checked the table, but I didn't. And
right.
now I'm as bad as you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's a good shot right there. Did he get lucky? Oh, and as a lot of people will know, if you accidentally make a ball in another pocket,
option.
You
and
have
it
your
is
option.
not your
and
shot.
of course, he has a shot on the pink 4. He's kind of straight in, so that worked out very much for Ray. It's interesting that Mike Legoo's hippo logo is two different images, depending on if you look at this stream or the other stream.
That's pretty typical. Those are the different
Is it?
system processors, yeah.
But they both know that it's a hippo.
Yeah, and then it just
They just have a different hippo.
Yes.
Huh.
Like that's typical with like phones too. Like Apple has different emojis than Android,
What's
and
that? So this is
Facebook has
that's-
different emojis than YouTube.
One's what, Facebook, and the other's YouTube.
Yes.
But we get the same words. I mean, the stream is going, or the chat is on both.
Yeah, but this is an overall. This is a combined chat.
Oh, I thought
This
it was
is-
longer.
This
Yeah,
is a YouTube only.
gotcha. But the YouTube only hippos look like hippos.
Is different, yeah.
The other ones look like little mice.
Yeah, or like I was thinking an anteater
Yeah,
or something.
with a little pink nose. What's the difference between a hippo and a zippo?
Oh, I don't know, MH. I haven't heard this joke before. What is it?
One of them's pretty heavy, the other's a little lighter. You laughed too soon.
No, how could I have? I've never heard that joke before. Why would I have laughed too soon? I didn't know.
Early 10-ball combos are allowed in this match. Obviously, you have to call it. Lucas is asking about that. No flukes in 10-ball. It's basically the same game as 9-ball, except for there's an extra ball. And you have to call every ball and every pocket it goes into.
Yes. Another.
And then there's that one
clips
weird...
on
The only
that
other
big
thing is
shot.
that one weird rule is if you accidentally... If you don't make a ball, if you don't make your called ball, and you accidentally make any ball into any other pocket...
Slop, i.e. slop.
Right. But your
Terminology.
opponent can then, if they don't like the lay, make you shoot the next shot, similar to a push.
Like the lay. That's interesting.
The lay of the land. So
Okay,
Ray
so that
takes
is
another
now
one, 15 in a
15
race to
to
18. He's getting pretty close.
Because
No, wait,
G,
Hello.
his YouTube chat gone missing from our multi-stream
It
chat?
just came back.
It's just refreshed. It'll pop in when new comments come in.
Okay. Ray takes a while to rack, I notice.
Yeah, he's doing something, though. He's doing something right, because he's getting a lot of good results on the break. He's breaking from almost right down the middle, just a hair to the right of center. He's playing the 3-ball and the 7-ball in the side pockets. Look at the 3-ball. It was close, but didn't go. And the 4-ball was the corner ball.
Which is a typical,
So
that's
that
a
ball went
typical
four,
pattern.
often when it's the last ball rolling, that meant that 4-ball was the corner ball that went 4 rails around, which is kind of right there, isn't it? That shot is aimed. The Ray clips.
Yes,
That's
that's
right.
right. That's when the change of the color on the pool table
The-
happens.
The exposure, yeah. Ray stands, when he's racking, he stands in front of the camera.
Or breaking, rather. It's when you break.
Oh, when he breaks.
Yeah.
No, oh yeah, right.
Yep.
So he stands there, the automatic sensors on the camera
Go to the color on his
think
shirt.
that it's very dark, and they change the exposure. And so, yeah, the color of the table changes momentarily until he moves. It's a ray clips.
Yeah. One of the beautiful sights in the world.
Yeah.
10th wonder.
At least it's not a full moon like some of these other players.
Yeah, right. Good point, MH.
The crack problem in Wisconsin's been getting worse.
Yeah.
And Ray, with another nice break and another nice position he's got himself in here to run this rack. He's got to pop around a couple of rails to get on the 8. The 8 goes nicely in the side pocket, so he has his choice here, the side or the corner. Probably hit it in the corner so he can play a nice little stop shot, little stun. Worrying times for Kendal if Ray's going to start breaking and running again.
Yeah, and really, he's been in that position for a while
Stun
now.
run through.
On the worrying aspect of it. I've seen many comebacks before, though. This right here, though,
Well, this would be a good one.
If
he
you
can.
plan a
It isn't-
comeback, you cannot. Don't let them get to
Well, that's
the
right.
hill.
And Kendall's not the
So
kind of
this
person
game
to...
is huge.
Yeah, Kendall's not the kind of guy to get quit, so he's still going to come
I've
at this if he gets a
I've
chance.
had it where my ratio record is coming on like 8-1.
Yeah.
Like I'm winning 8, they win 1. When I'm hitting a good gear.
Yeah.
So if it gets to the hill, so it's like I could run 8, mess up,
one time,
give them the 1 to the hill.
Yeah.
And then run more again.
Sure, you're twice.
So this is like a
obviously,
big, if he finds that gear,
he's
you
2
know, I'm not
away
saying
instead of 1 away.
sometimes he just
twice as far.
can't. But
There we
there's
go.
that opportunity.
That could be the big turning moment
If
right there.
if he finds a gear and snaps on it.
And he's got a good lay. There's nothing really tied up. He's got ball in hand on the 1 ball. Could get nice on the 2. And so, let's see what Kendall's got left in him. I'm sure he's going to just want to run this out. The only really exacting part is, and it shouldn't be too bad because the 5 is going to make it easy to get whatever angle you want on the 6. You want to just roll forward here.
Yeah.
So that you have a nice roll forward shot on the 6 to get straight on the 9. Or maybe you don't want to get quite straight on the 9.
Nope. I don't think you do.
Well, he
It's
did.
a good angle. No, it's not.
Oh, no, he's got an angle, yeah. So that's perfect. A little soft stun.
And
Okay, now people walking through.
yeah, which of
Big
course.
guy. Kendall looked up and saw him, but you got to focus on this ball. Doesn't matter what else is going on. The ball's got to go in the hole. Nice one.
Yep. Somebody
if he
said
can get his
connect
break
the
going.
dots, that's right.
I've seen Kendall run racks before.
Yep.
Looks like they're scoring for each other. So Kendall scored Ray's last game, and Ray just came over and scored Kendall's last game.
Right.
Which I find that gets confusing. I always
Yeah, I
usually,
don't
when
like
I'm
it. I
in a
don't like to
match
do it.
and someone's being, friendly, obviously, score my game for me, I politely say I think we should just do our own. Because otherwise it gets confusing and you have to worry about did he or didn't he this time.
Right. Yeah, I don't like to see it.
Well, that ball looked like it was going to scratch, but he got kicked away.
Okay.
He
And
needs
I
it-
guess a shot, technically.
He needs the billiards gods to be on his side for a little bit here.
Yeah, the biggest thing in pool often is you have to find that balance of caring and not caring. Sometimes it gets spiked pretty hardcore, and you can't find that balance.
Deep. You want to kiss on the 9. Yeah, that shot worked out. There was a lot of moving parts in that shot.
Good shot there. he looks in a good zone. I will be shacked. If or when a miss occurs, and the odds are just saying that a miss will occur, but he's looking good. At the time I see it, I'll be like, what? Well said, right?
Precisely.
You really want me to say that one, don't you?
This, I don't want to jinx anything. I don't believe in that, but
I do. It's very
okay, I'm gonna wait.
Gets very vibey down there.
Well, that's a break and run at the right time.
Yep.
So now,
it's like what I said with
and repeat.
Leave him off the hill.
This will be a major, major comeback if he can mount it. But he's due for a few good rolls, and he's not hitting the ball bad.
No, this the better that he's done in the match, probably.
And sometimes when you get down and it seems it's almost over, you relax a little bit.
Well, and that's what I meant with the caring, not caring aspect of the reality of this scenario right now.
You have to play like you don't care to some extent, but obviously you need to care enough.
You need to focus enough to realize you need 8 before he needs 2,
Your spidey sense has to kick in at those moments where you do have to be a little bit more ponderous.
It's really... don't care on any particular shot necessarily, but stay focused to the goal of how many games you need for the win.
There we go, scratched.
And that's a Mason mistake right there.
The balls tie up a little bit, but that's a shame. See if we can pick this off. It's not a clear... So yeah, he's looking at the 2-ball.
Well, and that's really where
eyeballing the 2-ball past the 6.
Where Ray has the advantage here is in that balance of it's not as drastic to him as it is to Kendal in this scenario, because he can overthink and make a slight mistake and come back.
Yeah. The key really for Ray is not to do too much different. Things have been working. There's no need to get silly about it.
Right.
And
that's where I wonder if he is right now. As his opponent, I would be looking at it like I might have a chance, because I think he's taking a little longer.
A huge moment for him
than he normally does.
So when he was lining up that, he wasn't really thinking about the 2-ball past the 6, but he was pointing his cue that way. Why would you when the 2 goes past the 7 instead?
That's where I'm just saying, as a regular Ray opponent, he doesn't look as relaxed as I would think for the win of the.
And you definitely, he should be relaxed right now. He's definitely he can afford to be aggressive and go for stuff. But maybe he does fear, knows that Kendal could string a couple together.
Well, regardless at what level my dad ends up playing at, I know there's a ton of players out there with the awareness of what his game can get to, snapping off wise. So Ray's been around long enough to know that.
And that's right, Chase. I did say ponderous. It's good word, that, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll have to excuse his English.
That's a good word. I don't know if it's in the dictionary, but it's definitely good.
I use it sometimes.
It probably is in the dictionary.
I think, MH, that being around you, I typically use a couple more verbiage that would be considered English.
Precisely.
Than what my, straight up American.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ray has done a very good job here so far, picking off the first awkward shots. And if he pops this one in,
Might call the 10 here. Just say mess it.
Well, if this was 9 ball, you're playing both, but he's got to.
And
There we
he
go.
overthought it. So
Was that
he's-
10 ball? Did the fact that the 10 ball was going that way come into play at all?
It would
and
for me sometimes, so I
change?
could see it happening.
Just thinking maybe I could be half thinking maybe I should have called the 10.
Because I think he, at times
So-
he actually overcut it. At
Yeah.
times, I might overcut it because I don't want to make the 10
Yeah.
and prove myself right/wrong
Sure.
for calling the other ball. You know.
And that shot on the 5 ball, if he'd made that, all of a sudden it looks like you've got a nice, easy layout. But he'd done well to get to that point. And that 5 ball was probably the last sort of awkward one. But this is exactly what Kendal needs as a chance here.
Well,
And
and
if
that's what I kind
anybody
of
wants
mean
a
is
close match and see a comeback.
he started that already a couple racks ago. It was important for
There you
him
go.
to have started the little bit of
So-
comeback because if this was the start of his comeback,
Yeah.
there's more pressure. Now you should be allowed this rack with a little less pressure because you just ran out a couple racks ago.
That was a nice shot there to get on the 9. So he's still thinking well.
Yep.
And yeah, he does play quicker.
Yep. Ray with still a huge lead here.
So Lucas saying that he likes Mark White and Carl Boys as commentators, and I totally agree. I like Carl Boys. I don't know if I know who Mark White is.
Mark White's he's more of a ref, actually, I believe. But he's been recently, he had commentated all week on the Predator Pro Series that happened in Arizona.
Huh.
And he was pretty good. I was enjoying it.
Well, I'm going to have to look that up. There was something else I was supposed to look up from earlier in the match. I can't remember what it is now.
The Efren Reyes.
Oh, yeah.
Reyes Gomez
Yeah.
controversy.
Lucas says he wishes Jeremy Clarkson was a pool fan. Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
He's from Top Gear.
Nice little swing at you.
What's that?
That was very ponderous of Kendal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's letting the cue ball fly. So
yeah, too much wild cue ball.
it's if he does end up scratching, you can say that's part of the reason. But
Oh,
he
it
didn't-
certainly is.
he didn't scratch this time. Cue ball and the 1 ball are opposite ends of the table, and he's buried. So if he wants to maintain control of this rack, you can't really control it with a push, but at least you don't necessarily give it up right away.
Right, you're still pretty much in
So
control.
I'm going to guess that Ray's going to take this because there's too much of a chance where you just play a nice kick shot and put him safe. We'll see if Ray wants to take this chance.
Well, here's a question. If you had Ray on the hill, would you have pushed out to that position?
Yeah, I think I still would.
I mean, he doesn't have much
I think
choice
I'm-
really because you can't really play a kick or a.
Yeah, I'm more
Jump
likely
shot to
to
try and hit the
play
one.
a push the closer
So,
he is
I mean,
to
he
the win.
had to play a push.
I'm just thinking to that position because if Ray makes this and gets out, I mean, you still have one
You're
more
saying
chance.
because he's left a thin cut on the 1 ball, this is
Right.
shootable.
It's a
I-
doable shot on
I
a
th-
7-foot table.
I
Yeah.
think that my dad could have brought the cue ball to the rail a bit more.
Sometimes you want to leave your opponent a sort of a 50-50 shot, just luring him into playing a shot that he can miss. And you're saying if he didn't leave him a shot at all, he'd have had to play a kick. But the problem with that is
Yeah, and I don't like
he'd have
that.
ended up giving it back to
Or a
Kendal.
hard-
But I
harder
think
shot.
this is a pretty good push, but he could have just went,
But yeah.
millimeter closer to the rail.
But I think you're right, Chris. I mean, he's definitely given him a chance here. And there we go. Kendall's push worked. Not that he's got anything easy here, but at least he has a chance.
Yeah, and
To
I'd
probably
like to
play
see him
safe,
play
right?
safe here, yes. As a Kendal
And
fan.
it's easy to, if you don't really pick this exactly right, it's easier to chip the ball. Problem with that shot is he's put the 1 ball right in front of the pocket.
But not terrible.
There
He
might
wanted
even,
to get behind that 4-5 for sure.
so luckily he didn't leave him a window, and that was, 50-50 really there, because there is a window between on either side of the 6. He can go this way. He's looking at it. What's he looking at? Can't
Off
do it.
the rail, like a masse kick off that
That shot
side
would be
rail.
crazy. That would have to be bending right around the 6 ball.
I've seen him do it, really.
I'm surprised he doesn't just jump this because it's just the edge of the 6-ball.
So far, such a far jump.
Yeah. And then he's got to look at kicking because that's not a terrible. The 1-ball's not really.
I think, honestly,
I don't like. There's not really a side rail kick because the 1-ball's not really hanging from that direction.
I prefer to masse through that 6-7
Yeah.
in this scenario.
That's probably what Kendal loves is masse shots, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think the vertical, view makes it look a little easier, or the view on the left. I mean, the overhead, you can see how close that 6 is to the rail.
Right.
I think the cue ball barely fits through.
Well, he's taken a while to think about it. We've kind of went over the options already, haven't we?
And
What
he's
else is there to commentate on?
Yeah, he's probably listening to the commentary in his headphones there. He's like, thanks, boys.
I've done that before.
Have you?
Yep, certainly. Which is parts why they make it outlawed.
And then he played your shot to masse through that gap. Didn't bend quite enough. And he took off the little weighted extension off his cue, and he's decided to put it in his pocket instead of back onto his cue. But we noticed that with his match last week, that he would take it on and take it off.
Yeah, I heard you say that.
For shots where it wasn't really for reach, and so
well, it's the same concept as why I used my cue in the first place.
The extra weight.
Yeah.
And and then there were
so
some shots.
He's taking
like his little masse shot. Would it be helpful to have a shorter cue and a lighter cue on
my game
on a masse shot
into his?
Does your length extra? Because you've got a very long and, has to be said, a very heavy cue.
Not quite. It's not as heavy as you'd imagine. Take a guess. Yeah, I'm shocked you don't know.
I think I do. I think it's like 22 ounces.
21.
Yeah, which is heavy.
That's not heavy. There's bar cues 21.
Well,
yeah.
We have a special guest here who would like to say a few words to the audience.
Mr. Ray.
You should keep it a secret, man.
People's champion. He's commentating on his own match.
Hey.
Brilliant.
Hey, I thought it might be a longer break. I'll just come over and say hi, guys.
Well, hello.
I'm playing for you.
So we were talking about the fact that you take the extension off your cue, but not always for reasons of just reach, which is what people would assume. I think certain shots you prefer a slightly lighter cue, and certain shots you prefer heavier. Is that right?
Yeah.
I told them they're copying you, or you're copying me.
You play. I like a lot about your stroke that's way different than mine, so I've been trying different stuff. And yeah, sometimes I just want super clean follow through, and
that weight gives you a cleaner follow through.
Very much so, yeah.
And that's exactly what Mason's always been saying.
And it's super quick, quick joint.
Yeah,
plug it in the back. It's pretty easy.
Okay,
right.
I was going to survive that one.
Well, thanks, Ray.
I don't want to distract these guys too much, but I'll come back at the end. Hang out, and I'll
come and chit chat with us.
Hopefully, I don't shit all over myself, and we'll.
Okay,
I'll be happy.
Chris, ban him from the stream.
Yeah, banned. Get him out of here.
I don't want to get in this line.
Banish the king from the kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't even hear me. It's a good shot there. I mean, he's a little close to his work, really.
Yeah. Is he really playing that corner?
Second look at it, but.
Okay, it's a big shot here.
Just as big as the rest of them. And yeah, over constant. If he gets him on the rail, he's got a half chance. And I still don't like his chance, but there's a minor one.
Yeah, I have heard that mass cues are often heavier. Or at least a lot heavier than a jump cue, but Kendal plays masse shots with his break cue, believe it or not. Because people always assume you need a soft tip for masseing. But he plays masse shots with his phenolic tip, and amazingly it works. And I think,
Chris, we had just mentioned banishing Ray from the stream from his curse word.
Yeah,
we've been a real clean stream last few weeks, and I think he should be banished from his own kingdom. Take the king away.
Self-proclaimed.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't. The honest truth is, you can't be people's champion if it's self-proclaimed.
No, that's what I love about it.
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
That's
it's
the,
tongue-in-cheek.
That's the beauty.
Didn't the people have to decide that to be the people's champion?
The comment on Ray seeming like a cool character,
Yeah,
I'll
he
just say, yeah, he is. I think a lot of people,
He's a nice guy.
that's why he's the people's champ, really.
Pretty much everybody's friend.
Yeah, he's the everybody friend in the pool hall.
Bank shot to get on the hill. Okay, what have you left?
A stroke shot.
Stroke shot is what you call this, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta hit this one good.
Yeah.
Test your stroke.
Which he intended with that drawback on the cue ball.
That he
It's
was
kind of more
playing
turned to be more of his goal than making it.
Partially
in that
safe.
scenario.
Of course, it's not safe, but
Ugh. Sorry, did I scoff out loud?
yeah.
But,
I find I make that noise when I'm playing.
yeah.
When I miss, I do it. I don't mean to do it, but it's oh. That's a shame. Kendall could have used that one.
So just for reference, I put up the picture of what Ray looks like when he walks into the pool hall.
Yep.
This is what we have to deal with.
Hey, it's good, man. I like it.
Yeah, carrying his Wonder Woman belt. He's got the Wonder Woman logo right on the front.
Right.
They tell me it's wrestling, but it sure looks like the Wonder Woman logo to me. But yeah, it's all one thing carrying it when you're winning. But when he loses, why doesn't he give it up?
Because
it's my belt. I went and bought that.
Right. It's not. It's his character. It's not the stream at all.
Mm. Well,
We don't have a belt.
You really have to visualize the image there.
He won't say a word.
Yeah.
Also for like the first 5 minutes here.
He just
we should
stands
have
in the
we
doorway.
should have a different belt for each of the the jesters
We've
and the
discussed that concept.
and then
before.
the seniors, instead of a belt, you have suspenders.
There you go. Coming up with original ideas. I like it.
Huh?
Yeah.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Slight break time here.
I still want to know what he listens to in his earbuds when he walks in because, he just stands there for 10, 15 minutes. Gets a little awkward.
It's the Hulk Hogan entrance music.
Yeah.
I can dig that. Yeah, I'm thinking like Eye of the Tiger or something, but
Down, down, down. Yep, and the one ball creeps in.
Yep, and no love on the 2.
But he can see it, so he can play some kind of safe here, probably. There's no point playing a push, because he's got a clean shot on the 2. He doesn't have a pocket to play it in. He's not going to play a bank in the corner. That's ridiculous. But it's not really obvious the safety here, is it? Oh, he's calling it. He's cutting it. Thin cut up the rail past the 9. This will be some shot.
Yeah.
And Kendall's probably going to be happy that he called that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Another
setback.
C. And he hit it good,
Wow.
man.
Well, that one makes the highlight tape.
Yeah, can
Are
I?
you gonna- are
am
you
I
gonna-
a saver or
I know
does
Chris
Chris
is
G
doing it.
save it?
I see him tapping away on the keyboard.
Oh, okay, good.
But that was quite a shot. And again, he fooled us all. But not only that, yet again, we should learn. He played it a shot that he can go safe on. So he wasn't selling the farm with that shot, even if it didn't go in. So that was a really, really good shot choice.
I don't like this one.
And
He
a very-
always does this, which I find strange.
Yeah, you watch for the
You
double
don't-
hit.
You don't need to. I don't believe he wanted to do that.
Oh, but he's drawn away from the 4-ball. No, I don't think he meant to do that. That's a good one, Mace. Because he didn't... Why couldn't he have just hit it super soft?
Super soft.
Still got options here, though. There's a safety option. So I have to say, I do think his previous C-bank on the 2 was a wonderful shot.
Yes, it was. I think we'll see it again at some point.
Oh, there we go.
No, is that? Yeah, it is. Okay. We're late on it, though. Ugh. It's like what I did at
Oh, wow.
one of my BCA finals.
So he wasn't playing that
that
ball, huh?
No.
Or was he just trying to get position in?
I think he might. I don't know. I think he might have been playing
Yeah, I
safe.
mean, and it's irrelevant because even if he didn't call it,
It's an irrelevant.
right? It's an irrelevant. Because even if he didn't call it, the fact in 10-ball, obviously, if you make a ball, you can your opponent makes you shoot again.
It's an irrelevant.
Well, little shrug from Kendal as he walks back.
Yep.
A rifle glance up at the commentary booth. And if he was playing safe there, he played the cue ball lovely, didn't he, to freeze behind the 10-ball like that.
Yeah.
You got him, and that's the reason, I guess, for that rule in 10-ball. I always I thought it was a funny rule when I first heard it. You got to make sure you don't accidentally bank the ball in.
This is all but over at this point. We could see an uncharacteristic mistake, or we could see the win of the match. But that's
Andrew in England. He liked my suspenders, seniors in suspenders joke.
no. I think
Well, the
that's
reason
him
is-
saying that he doesn't like your seniors and suspenders.
MH, I
joke.
need to poke out my mind's eye.
Yeah, you're saying why
Seniors
did
and
you
suspenders.
why did you put that in my head?
Oh, no, because in England, suspenders are what, the strippers wear to hold up your stockings. That's what suspenders means. In America,
Right, so that-
suspenders are what you would call, Andrew, braces.
But
Now,
again,
in America, of course, braces is the thing in your teeth, but
I mean, I did not know that fact. But
yeah.
but still,
I've
it's
been in
not.
America.
It's not to your point. It is still. Why would you want to see a senior in
Suspenders.
a stripper suspenders?
You wouldn't.
Right. So again, he's not liking your comment.
Well, no, because I didn't even think twice. I've been in America so long.
Look at.
I myself are getting up in age, and I have to say that belts don't work for me anymore. It might be because of my protruding belly,
I love your honesty.
but I do understand. I finally understand why older gentlemen often wear what they would call in England braces, or in America suspenders.
Don't be racist.
Don't be racist. That's good. And I do myself. I've given up wearing belts. They just don't work for me anymore.
Oh, overrolled it again.
Ooh, so he's on the hill, isn't he?
Yep.
So he's giving himself.
If you say this shot's necessary,
No, I'm just saying this is
I'll
for
go.
this is for the match. This.
You're as obvious as some of the matchroom commentators.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. So it looks like he's lining up to cut this into the middle pocket.
Lucas Robertson, thank you so much. Yeah, we will partially wrap up here to thank all of our viewers. Thanks for subscribing.
And there it is. What a
And
great
there
shot
goes
that
down
was
to
during the
10.
match.
Thanks
to everybody.
And we stream weekly, so that we'll see you all next week. Starting really with the OS stream, which is our different tiered matches. 11 a.m. starts the Queen match, and we pretty much run constant all the way till now. looks like we'll get a word with our
Yeah.
king.
And we just want to thank not only all our viewers, but especially the ones watching from overseas, i.e. Stevenage, who, it has to be said, it's 5 a.m. or something right now, isn't it? What is it?
Well
11?
done to make it through.
5 a.m. in the morning. Don't you have to work in the morning, Andrew? He runs his own business, so I guess he's going to sleep in.
You guys got my photo up. I love it.
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Congratulations, Ray.
Thank you.
Nice
you.
little shot on the 10 ball in the side pocket there to win.
Yeah, I was fair to scratch. And I overhit that ball at the end. I just popped over earlier because I thought it might be a longer break. I just want to say hi. And then I felt like I was sharking him, so I was like, okay, let me get off.
Yeah.
And hide behind this, and so doesn't see me popping up behind.
Well,
me.
people wanted to hear from you, so it's good you came back over.
Yeah, so just that extension thing was. Sometimes it just feels right. I mean, it's really hard to explain. I think Mason knows what I'm talking about.
I 100% know what you're
sure.
talking about.
And because it pops
that
on and off so quick, and I was playing bad before I started taking it off and on a lot, it was easy to just make a change.
Yeah.
And so I started trying to do that, and there's one or two shots where I just kick myself where it's like it's so obvious. Just put usually with the long bridge, which is the obvious kind of shots where you want that ball.
Right.
But yeah, man, I'd never beaten Kendal in this king. I'd never beaten Mason. I'd never beaten
Now you took out
all
both
these
Cooks
people.
in 3 weeks.
I've been king before, but I'm beating all new guys now. I know, I know sometimes you're tired of seeing the same people, but every time I win, it's a brand new guy, and I can't wait to see who's next week. It was said that Alexander the Great, when he had no more lands to conquer, he wept.
Wow.
I like it.
I stand before you weeping.
Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations, Ray. We'll see you next week.
Mic drop.
Thanks, everybody else out there for watching. Tune in next week for another exciting edition of the Mad Apple streaming King of the Hill series. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks to Mason Cook here in the comedy box.
Yes.
Thanks to Chris G for doing a wonderful job with the technical side of things. And you have a very good online voice. You really do. I know you don't comment much, but
Thank you.
he's got the perfect voice, doesn't he? Radio voice. And for me, Podding Panglaze signing out. We'll see you next week.